It's coming off the wall. Jets tried to go back between the defenseman. The Blues knock it loose, and Neighbors will skate the center now with Kyrou. Kyrou wires a shot low and wide of the net. Shen able to keep it in. Comes off Kyrou in the corner. Look to center to Shen. He gets it back. Shen's got it. Near wing. Parayko shooting. Save. Rebound. Kick loose in front. Shen moves in on the check, and the pass to the near wing comes to Parayko. He'll slide down the wall. 2-0 Blues. Kyrou on the play to the corner for Braden Shen. Trying to go back to Kyrou. Morrissey knocked it loose. Kyrou leans in on him. The puck cleared out, and Parayko goes to get it. Sends it over to Cam Fowler.
Yeah, just another perfect example. There was Colton Parayko Curbs. He was down there all alone. He acted as a cycling forward there with Jake Neighbors replacing him. Right now, the D are staying in the offense.
Blues dump it in. Stanley back in behind the net. Trying to check onto it. Reddick Foxa. Bounces into Niederreiter on the near side. Toropchenko and Walker right there, and it's loose to Walker going behind the goal. Back to Toropchenko on the near wing. Gets hit twice, but it's freed up into the corner. Foxa sends it to Broberg. Fakes the shot. Risks the shot. It doesn't get on. It's blocked away by Niederreiter and Toropchenko's battle in front of the goal. 9 minutes gone. Opening period. 2-0. St. Louis leading. Buchnevich at even strength, 48 seconds in. He then deflected in a power play goal at 3:11. Blues up to Cobb, and they try to hold it in the zone. Can't. It's back out. Broberg will go and get it. Send it up to Texier. Texier is going to move it in over the line. Winnipeg will get it back in behind their end net, and Dylan Sandberg is going to hold on to it. 10.5 to go.
Yeah, what I love about this game right now, Curbs, is not only the 2-0 lead, but it's been the energy right after those goals. Blues have not taken their foot off the gas.
Long shot coming in. Hits off Texier. Sandberg centers. Putting it on. Iafallo, and Bennington makes his third save of the game. Back to the far wing now. Chipped away by Bolduc. It's kept in by the Jets. And a high shot goes into the far corner. Bolduc comes off the wall, and then on the backhand goes off Texier to Sundqvist. Now to Bolduc with his teammates changing in front of him. He chucks it to open ice. Broberg comes over to get it. And the Blues have it inside their blue line. Now Parayko up the middle of the ice. Buchnevich right on. Glove save with a long shot. Buchnevich will battle right in front. And it's going to be Tannen coming in, trying to get him Buchnevich. Another Jets there. Pionk and Lowry come over. Lowry's going to feed the business to Snuggerud. Blues defensemen are staying out, Joe. They want to keep that face-off in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's been a couple close calls. The refs aren't going to call anything here, even though there's some high cross-checks to the melons of both these teams. They're going to let these guys stay 5-on-5, I believe, Curbs, which is the way it should be, because this has been an energetic, good hockey game. 9:51 to go in the first. We've got to take our first break and catch our breath. It has been a great start here. 2-0 score. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
What's up, Blues fans? Enjoying the game should be easy, so don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your Lucky Blues jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some pizza from your go-to place and grab some Bud Light to stock your fridge. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly, 21 or older. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
88,000 satisfied customers since 1929. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
If you have a remodeling project, whether it's a kitchen or a bathroom, or maybe you're redesigning your basement, go with Mosby Building Arts. You don't want to go with the wrong design team. You know, the ones that come in, they've got horrible taste. They don't really care what your style is. They just want to recommend certain things and get out the door. That's not Mosby Building Arts. They have designers with good taste, trustworthy construction team, honest pricing. Don't risk hiring the wrong team. Call Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company, at 314-909-1800.
At Bommarito, we have created the easiest way for you to sell your car. Just go to Bommarito.com, click on the Sell Trade tab, answer a few questions, and we will give you a real purchase offer. When you're ready to sell, go to Bommarito.com where price buys cars.
Here's Letang. 24/7 hockey. He missed the target. Draisaitl back the other way for the Oilers. Draisaitl scores!
Ice Center. It is loud. I'm going to try to talk over this home crowd because they are pumped up. They're witnessing a 2-0 early lead here for the St. Louis Blues. Both goals scored by Pavel Buchnevich. 9:51 to go here in the first period. That last TV timeout, Kyle Raymond spent a little time between both benches, still talking to Scott Arniel. I would imagine, Curbs, is probably a little bit of a warning shot for both benches. That last little scrum in front of Connor Hellebuck, it saw some pretty violent cross-checks right to the head. One on Tanev, one on Snuggerud. I think they're going to let both go. We're going to stay 5-on-5, but if this happens and persists, I would imagine they're going to take the first one and only one. And we're going to see more special teams here because it's certainly getting a little rough.
Offensive zone face-off here. Winnipeg wins it. They tried to clear. Thomas holds it in. He gets checked by Lowry. They get the puck down in the corner to Buchnevich. Tried to center to Snuggerud. Thomas picks it up. Snaps it back to the point. Fowler with a shot. Deflected on. Hellebuck will make the save as Thomas is knocked down in front. And right there, Joe, we just saw the advantage of the Blues having the last change.
Yeah, the last change, of course, now with Robert Thomas here. He's going to be going up head-to-head with the Tanev line, which is the matchup that Jim Montgomery wants. Now you have a chance for Winnipeg to change, so the Blues are going to change as well. So clearly the Thomas line's going up against the Lowry line, which is the matchup Montgomery wants. But look at the way Robert Thomas in that last play not only makes the play from beneath the goal line to the weak side D and Fowler, but watch where he goes. He goes right to that blue paint. He gets hit from behind, actually crashes into Connor Hellebuck a little bit. So that was one of the big concerns of the Blues in the first two games. But getting to the front of that must have been much better.
Blues win the draw. Take a shot. That's Fowler. It's blocked. Comes back to the point. Fowler out high. They shoot it on. And Hellebuck's going to hold on to make another save. That's 11 shots on goal right now. 9:25 to go in the opening period. 2 goals by Buchnevich. 1 at even strength, 1 on the power play. Every time the Blues score first Bank donates $115 to the Greater St. Louis Honor Flight Program. Ensuring World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War veterans get a chance to see the national memorials in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, Braden's got to be careful here. A couple more cross-checks to Mark Scheifele. They're going to call it.
Down the left wing, Iafallo's going to bring it in. Circle the net, keep the puck. Snap it to the point. Piot puts it back to the corner. Wide open in the middle is Iafallo. They couldn't connect. It's into the corner. Parayko cuts it off. Saucers it beyond Schenn to the near wing. Kyrou clears for St. Louis.
Here's a good look at the Schenn now on the Scheifele line. That's what we were talking about in the first.
Schenn walks it into the middle where he's checked down by Piot. He'll get back up. Scheifele's going to come out of the zone with it. And get it up to the red line and send it in. Falk slashes at Scheifele. Texier onto the puck over on the far wing. Out to Broberg, then to Bolduc. Waits for pressure, backhands it in. Blues will finish the line change. 8:35 to go. The game's settling in just a bit with the Blues with a 2-0 lead. Bennington to the far corner. Too far for Broberg. It's off Texier. Good place by Bolduc, and he clears it up. That will result in icing. Boy, Bolduc just continues to find himself more and more in the right part of the ice, doesn't he?
He does, and he's using his instincts, and experience matters in the sense of you get better reads. You start reading off each other. You start reading from the lead, the pace of pucks, the pace of coming out of D zone, and the more you do it, the more you're going to find yourself anticipating where to be a step or two before you need to be there. And Curbs, through the experience, he's starting to really find it. Confident young kid.
Jets win the draw. Long shot. Thuds wide. Perfetti on the near wing. Checked into and then knocked down right at the Zamboni door by Falk. 2 Blues are in there. Perfetti still down, and then he gets up, and the Blues will win it, bring it out. Falk leads the rush with Bolduc. Coming back to Falk. Tries to throw it on, and then ends up crashing into the wall with Colin Miller. Those two will wrestle down. Nemesnikov's going to come in. Sundqvist is going to grab him. Really, Joe, if you're the Blues, you do not want it. You got to be sure if you take a penalty in this situation, 2 are going. Someone's going with you.
Yeah, you do. You got to be careful. In these scrums, it looks like the refs are letting them play, which is great. But you better keep your hands away from the head, and you better keep your sticks down. They don't mind the rough stuff. If you're giving, you're jousting, they're jousting, it's a little sparring match, that's fine. But as soon as they see a hand to the head as a punch or any sort of stick curves, you're going to call a cross-check or a rough. And they've been doing it all series long. They're not taking 2, they're taking 1. So for the 2-0 lead, the Blues got to stay careful here. 7:59 to go in the first. Back in a moment. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
What are the signs of a foundation problem? Cracks can be inside drywall or outside masonry. Cracks can be in block or poured concrete walls. They can be vertical or horizontal, but they all have two things in common. Cracks get worse if you ignore them, and they keep stealing value from your home until the cause is fixed. Get a free estimate from Woods Basement Systems, this area's highest rated, most reviewed basement-y experts.
For all things basement-y, go to LouisLovesWoods.com. That's LouisLovesWoods.com.
When it comes to your health, what do you deserve? At BJC Healthcare, we believe you deserve care when you need it. You deserve answers and peace of mind. You deserve the best hospitals, the latest treatments, and expert advice. You deserve to know someone is always on your side, to keep doing what you love, and to live your healthiest life. You deserve extraordinary care. Learn more at bjc.org/deserve.
Blues fans know Chick-fil-A for their chicken sandwich. Try another fan favorite. Get a free mac and cheese through the Chick-fil-A app the week of April 14th. Just download the Chick-fil-A app and claim your free side of mac and cheese between April 14th and April 18th. The Chick-fil-A app makes ordering simple and pick up quick through the drive-thru or at the counter. Score points like the Blues score goals every time you use the Chick-fil-A app. Download it now. Chick-fil-A, 23 Greater St. Louis area restaurants.
Welcome back to the Enterprise Center. 2-0 Blues early lead here with 7:59 to go. Hey, prior to every home game this season, here at the Enterprise Center, you can join us with Bud Light Happy Hour. There will be live entertainment along with specially priced food and beverage options in the Anheuser-Busch Beer Garden located just inside the Ford entrance, and also at the Bud Light Sports Pub on PNC Premier Level.
2-0 Blues. Coincidental minors handed out, I'm assuming, for roughing right now. Sundqvist for the Blues, Nemesnikov for Winnipeg. That'll give us 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes if nobody else breaks the rules.
Penalties called on the previous play for Winnipeg, number 7, Vladislav Nemesnikov. For the Blues, number 70, Oscar Sundqvist. 2 minutes each for roughing.
Here's Scheifele. Brings it in for Winnipeg. They go to Neil Pionk. He had a heck of a game, too. Wheels it around to the near side, out to Sandberg. Now to Scheifele. Pressured by Parayko. The handoff back to the defenseman. They weave it away to Pionk. Look for traffic. Bennington the save. Rebound off his elbow just wide of the goal. Fowler to Buchnevich. Thomas will get it out of the zone. Parayko one-on-one over the line. Takes a shot, fired it wide. Again, 6 goals in the regular season for the Blues in 4-on-4 hockey. That was the most of any NHL team. They only allowed 1 in that scenario. Right now, a 2-0 lead. It's an opening period here in St. Louis. Adam Lowry in on fault. Waits for help. Comes off the wall with it straight away. And a save into the glove of Bennington. Ripped to the net by Colin Miller, who again was a healthy scratch in the first 2 games.
Yeah, good stretch out save here for Bennington as well. This is a bit of a tough shot, too, because through one body. And he had to go full extension with this one. Adam Lowry's going to pull up. Miller's going to set his feet. This puck actually ends up taking a redirection off of Broberg's knee pad. And then kind of stretches Bennington all the way out, glove side. He went full extension curve and barely grabbed that with the mitt.
6:59 to go. Offensive zone face-off for the Jets. Lowry is going to come out. Appleton is going to go in. Take it. Shen on the Bennington sends it to Falk with Lowry chasing him. Falk's got it on his backhand, then gets knocked down, but he brings it over to the near side. Broberg off the wall. Settled by Shen. Took a hit, makes the play. Broberg through center. Enters the zone. Trailed by Kyrou. Broberg all the way into the end boards. And Kyrou comes in to help out. Back to Broberg. Lets it slide to Parayko. Now to Kyrou. Goal line to Shen. It hit off his stick. Lowry, the beneficiary, finds it. Plays it back to the near side. Parayko chops at it first. It's down into the corner. Appleton and Parayko are going to push at one another, and the puck onto the stick of Josh Morrissey. 12 seconds to go in 4-on-4. Then Sundqvist and Nemesnikov come out of the penalty box. Winnipeg to the neutral zone. Niederreiter down 2-0, dumps it in. Perfetti put it to the corner. Back to Niederreiter, now to Pionk. Snaps it over near point to Sandberg. Into traffic, blocked by Perico. He'll find Neighbors at center. They'll dump it into the corner. That sends Sundqvist 5-on-5. In on the forecheck, and he dumps Sandberg with a good hit. Back out to center. Letty's there. Connects to Sundqvist coming in. Neighbors to the middle. Snuggerud leaves it. Tucker shooting it, and a save made by Hellebuck. With Neighbors fighting his way to get to the middle of the ice.
Yeah, he bull rushed his way too, didn't he? I mean, Pionk was kind of holding his ground right after Hellebuck makes his save. But Curbs, it's the effort of Jake. He puts his entire body right through Pionk and lands face first right in the blue paint. To me, that is a sign that the Blues are not going to be denied getting to the net front. They have made an impact already with the first Pavel Buchnevich goal, and everyone is getting in front of Hellebuck now. 5:30 to go in the first. Blues still up by 2. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
The NFL Draft is officially open.
Hear every pick of the NFL Draft on SiriusXM. NFL Radio is live in Green Bay as Rick Neuheisel, Jim Miller, and Pat Kerwin provide instant analysis.
There's 32 draft boards, and none of them duplicate any other club.
As well as exclusive interviews with coaches, executives, and players.
First pick in the NFL Draft. Very honored.
NFL Draft coverage continues tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
December 15th, Vancouver Canucks were in the playoffs. And this is when they had that big controversy going on. So they had to do something about it. And they did do something about it. Well, now they're not in the playoffs. You know what? They're not even really close anymore. This is the most absurd season falling apart. The most disappointing team this season of the 32 are the Vancouver Canucks.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stiller. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
5:30 to go here in the first period as we welcome you back to the Enterprise Center. Blues still holding on to that 2-0 lead, courtesy of Pavel Buchnevich and Curbs. That last TV timeout, I watched that Blues bench carefully. Jim Montgomery had a whiteboard the entire time, talking to Bolduc, talking to Snuggerud, and you and I talked to him right before Game 2 there in Winnipeg, and there is no question about it. This young man right here in Jim Montgomery, he loves to coach. He loves the art of coaching this sport to young players.
Tucker shoots it. That puck off that face-off win by the Blues. Shot high. Bolduc's going to chop it down into the corner. Sundqvist moves in. Bolduc reaches in behind the net. Battles on the puck, and then Sundqvist comes over to win it back. Goes off the wall to Letty. Letty tees up a slapper wide of the net. It sails. Now to Tucker. Racing for contact. Tanev went to hit him, and Tucker won that one. The puck to the wing. Bounce past Letty and ends up out of the zone. Bolduc back to get it.
Well, if you're a Winnipeg player, you are getting hit every time you touch this puck in the D zone.
Texier gets it. In behind the net. Bolduc to the front of the net. Blues to the line. And Foxa coming on from the change. Makes the shot, but that one goes wide. Tanev will clear it out for Winnipeg. And then he avoids Alexei Toropchenko as it's dumped into the goaltender. Binnington's going to hold on. Look at the Blues put a wall of 3 guys right in front of Binnington.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they are making their presence known in Game 3. They are bullying the Winnipeg Jets on the scoreboard. They're bullying them in the offensive zone. Every time Winnipeg turns to get back for a puck, they're getting hit multiple times. They're having a trouble time getting to in front of Binnington. There's a wall, like you mentioned, Curbs, and on the offensive side, there's just a complete disregard for human life every time they get to the blue paint in front of Connor Hellebuck. So the question is going to become, can they keep up at this pace? Because right now, it is like night and day watching both of these teams.
Blues win that draw, clear it out. Winnipeg's going to dump it back in. Binnington will leave it. Cam Fowler with an assist in the game on the goal by Buchnevich 48 seconds in. Fastest playoff goal for the Blues to start a playoff game. since Ryan O'Reilly scored a goal 43 seconds into Game 4 in the Stanley Cup Final of 2019. Buchnevich finding Thomas. In the middle. Fowler. Score! 3-0 St. Louis. 4:09 to play. Third period. Cam Fowler lights the lamp.
We had mentioned it before the game. The D have to make a difference, specifically in joining it on the offense. And once again, a play driven through the defender. A play started in the D zone. Fowler actually makes his first pass up to Parayko. Parayko to Buchnevich, then kicks it out to Thomas. The defenseman curve that started this play in his own zone, behind his own net, is the defenseman that scores this goal. He did not hesitate. He did not wait. He made that first pass. He jumps up to the middle of the ice. He beats everyone. He is not accounted for because he is a defenseman. Drives right through the heart of the middle. And then he picks that puck up on the backhand, puts it to the forehand right under the bar on Hellebuck. What a beautiful goal from Cam Fowler.
That's 3 points now for Cam Fowler, Joe. He assisted on both of Buchnevich's goals.
You know, and I didn't necessarily like his first couple games. I think he'd be the first to tell you he's got another level in those first two. But he has awakened and arose in this series.
Kyrou's going to put it down into the corner, skate away with it. Hit the trailer. Tucker with a shot, and it hit off the shin pad of Braden Shen. Jets will clear to center. Niederreiter chips it into the blue zone. 3:19 to go. Packed house, standing room only. He's going to count it off as Tallman chucks another one. Coming off the near wall with it to the blue line. Tucker, left side. Leddy with a shot. Deflects in on Hellebuck. Worth noting there, Joe, that was another glove side goal on Hellebuck.
Yeah. Another high one, too. Right under the bar.
Boy, this is Pavel Buchnevich assisting on the Fowler goal. That's a 3-point game for Buchnevich as well.
Yeah, the top line.
Fast for a better first period.
The top line is just on fire right now. With Thomas is distributing right now, especially on that Pavel Buchnevich power play goal. But even this play, right underneath the blade of Luke Shen, the defenseman for Winnipeg, to Cam Fowler streaking up the ice. The distribution for Robert Thomas that he finished off in the regular season. The one question mark was, would it continue in playoffs? Well, he silenced all those critics. He has been the best distributor outside of maybe Mark Scheifele in this series.
Walker wins the draw. Leddy, wrist shot into some traffic. And backhanded then by Walker wide of the net. Tucker checks into Gustafsson and knocks the 6'2" forward down. Walker gets bumped into. And now flying in, Toropchenko. He missed the hit, but there's a fan in the second row that leaned back 4 rows. And the puck now to the near side, cleared out. Tucker checks it loose for the Blues. Over to Leddy. Up along the wing. Walker bumped into the Jets defense. Get it. 2.5 to go. Opening period. Fans chanting the name of Connor, which makes sense because I don't know how you get the rhythm on Hellebuck. 2:15 to go.
Especially for this St. Louis crowd. Might be a little more difficult.
At 8:30 at night when you've been drinking beer on a Thursday. Let's go with Connor. It's 2 syllables. 2:03 to go. Up to Falk. Chucks it. Looking for a deflection. Over to the far wing. This one ends up knocked out of the zone. Lowry's going to get it. Blues give him a little bit of room. And Texier gets back to make the play on Adam Lowry. Now the Jets will bring it ahead. Stanley in with 1:45 to go. To the far wing. Touchdown into the corner by Scheifele. Blues cut him off behind the net. Hulk will clear out to the tape of Robert Thomas. Skates it up the middle of the ice. Thomas leaves it. Buchnevich to Parayko. Skating in, and his shot just high. Back to the far wing. Fowler touches that puck. He has the Midas touch right now, and that thing went into the corner. Rim to the far point. Cam Fowler right there. Over to Snuggerud. Backhands on the cycle to Thomas. Thomas looking. Fowler has it. Plenty of traffic. Shooting and a pad save off Hellebuck. Back to the wing. Thomas gets to it. Takes Kicks it to the far side. Puts it down into the corner. Snuggerud and Stanley battle. And the Blues come in. Buchnevich helps hit them. Blues have hit Logan Stanley more than they've hit any other player. Into the middle of the ice they go. Putting it on. Kyle Connor. Bad save off the right leg of Bennington. Parayko with pressure from Scheifele as the 255s dig in. And it's kept alive by Connor, then knocked out of the zone by Parayko.
What a timely save there for Bennington. Under a minute to go in this period. You got a 3-0 lead. You can't give up anything. What a save.
They get it. Niederreiter. Shot gets blocked. Puck comes to Morrissey. Morrissey down into the corner. Perfetti's pass blocked away by Neighbors. He shovels it ahead. Skates to the red. Passes to Kyrou over the blue. Going back to Shen along the way. Now to Neighbors behind the net. Oh, he fanned. Kyrou is open. And that's Shen, far point. 10 seconds to go. Blues in the offensive zone to Neighbors. Center to Kyrou. And pulled away by Colin Miller. Out to Nemesnikov. 3 seconds to go. They'll chip it in. Listen to this place at the end of period one.
At the end of the first period, it's the Blues 3 and the Winnipeg Jets 0. Shots on goal in the first period for the Blues 15.
Settle things down as the Wild and Golden Knights both look to get some fresh players on the ice. With just over 5.5 minutes gone by in the second period of Game 3. The Wild in front 2-1. Here's Eichel, fresh off the bench. Around the net of Philip Gustafsson. Jack Eichel, 94 points in the regular season. Feathered up top. Theodore shot blocked by Hartman. Barbashev to the carom. Off to Eichel, left wing corner now at the hash mark. To the point, McNabb over to Theodore for a drive. Kicked out by Gustafsson. It was tipped on the way by. Golden Knights retrieve another loose puck. It's Eichel again. Trying to get around Brazo. Jack Eichel. Poke check by Middleton. Stays with it around the Wild cage. Stick handling up near the point. Eichel turns. Walks his way in right circle. Danced past Middleton for a moment. Middleton pried it free. Foligno to his left. Jabs it out the center.
Well, Minnesota kind of standing right now also, Joe. They're not moving their legs at all. And as a result of that, they're on the outside looking in, so to speak.
Spurgeon in his own blue line, paddle one along. We have a penalty call. It's Slash. And this is going to be the Wild's first penalty, resulting
number 17, 2 minutes for slashing.
in a power play. Didn't seem like much. Second minor for Foligno in the hockey game. Timeout on the ice. Golden Knights down a goal, heading to their first man advantage of Game 3. When we come back to St. Paul, you're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen. Walks in. Put it between his legs. Shoots it. Score!
NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite team.
NHL Morning Skate.
December 15th, Vancouver Canucks were in the playoffs. And this is when they had that big controversy going on. So they had to do something about it. And they did do something about it. Well, now they're not in the playoffs. You know what? They're not even really close anymore. This is the most absurd season falling apart. The most disappointing team this season of the 32 are the Vancouver Canucks.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game, and when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken, don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home, and it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Foligno in the penalty box right now in this last call. He's picked up 2 penalties in this period, both of those in this game. So right now the faceoff will be deep in the Minnesota zone to the right of Philip Gustafsson.
Golden Knights power play, second best in the league in the regular season. They had 2 tries in game 1, one of them into the empty net to go 2 for 2 on the night. Here's Eichel, left wing, hash marks. Up top it comes Theodore, gave it right back. Jack Eichel, left circle, down low. Stone to the back post, sliding block by Middleton. It's Middleton, Faber, Eriksson Ek, and Boldy on the PK to start. Golden Knights keep in Hurdle to the high slot. Theodore, wrister, glove save. Gustafsson able to get a whistle.
Well, you look how they're moving the puck also, Joe, and they just tape the tape and they know exactly where they have to go. They're putting themselves in positions where they can receive the pass and get those shots away quickly if they have to. I mean, they just killed off 21 seconds, but boy, they are moving the puck in Minnesota. They've got to stay out of the penalty box.
4 forwards out for Vegas. Dorofeev at the right point across from Theodore. Hurdle and Eriksson Ek on the draw, a tie-up. A battle for it. Eriksson Ek stashed it back. Faber hurried around, hoping for Middleton. It was a touch too far. Dorofeev bottled up by Boldy. Good poke check by Boldy. Dug it free, and Middleton bounces one all the way down.
Yeah, smart move by Boldy also, using that long stick. He goes to the bench right now. First guy gets on the ice.
John Hines has talked about it throughout the year, Tom, when the Wild share the puck on the PK, meaning sometimes make that little 5-foot pass, you have an easier chance to clear. Middleton poked one away from trouble in his own slot. Left wing corner from his vantage point. The Golden Knights eventually come up with it. So it's Eichel feeding it up top. Dorofeev shakes with it. Johansson pressured for a moment. To the blue line now, Theodore. Rolls it to the left wing board. Stationed along the hash marks is Eichel. Back to Theodore, one-timer. Tipped off a body, went wide. Kicked off the end glass. Hurdle, hounded by Faber. Middleton closed on Stone. And an easy clear right wing side for Freddie Gaudreau. The Wild change again.
Yeah, huge play by Middleton also allowed Minnesota's teammate, his teammate to get the puck and get it all the way down.
42 seconds left on the minor to Foligno. From right to left on your radio dial. Theodore, a drop pass. Golden Knights changing on the fly. Eichel pushed it along Stone to Hanifin. Hanifin patrols the right circle. Now to the point for Hurdle. Back in the right wing corner. Hanifin handled it off the dasher. Bothered by Spurgeon. It comes back up top. Now a left wing pass for Eichel. Back to the middle of the ice. Hanifin walking in with a wrister. Trapped by Gustafsson.
Yeah, Gus been the difference during this power play. Still 21 seconds to go with Foligno in the penalty box. 2-1 Minnesota. 11:52 to go here in the second period. Shots right now 15-10 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights.
And Eichel, who spent the first $1.39 of the power play, finally sits on the bench. Carlson, Barbashev, Waugh, Hanifin, and Olofsson for the Golden Knights. Eriksson Ek back out to take the draw to the right of Gustafsson. He's joined by Bogosian, Spurgeon, and Boldy. And a reset off the faceoff. On the opening power play of this series in game number 1, it took just seconds for the Golden Knights to score. But the Wild felt there was interference on the draw, and Freddie Gaudreau went uncalled. Moments later, Dorofeev into an empty net. Off this tie-up, it's paddled to the point. Hanifin across the blue line. High slot, a wrister. Just glanced off a body and ricocheted wide. It's Barbashev floating it past to Hanifin. And that aerial feed knuckles out the center. Quick reset by the Golden Knights. Barbashev frisbeeing one along. Swiped away by Boldy. Tossed to Spurgeon. Got it out the center. Out of the box is Foligno. The Wild get their first successful PK of this series. They lead it 2-1 in the second period of Game 3. Pietrangelo fell down, muscled one to Waugh. He'll tap in for the chase down of Barbashev, who spins, hounded by Freddie Gaudreau. Barbashev rolled it to the left point. Haig, who can really shoot it, tried to dance around Foligno, lost the puck. Gaudreau grabs it. He's pressured. He'll just spike it ahead to Boldy. Boldy over the offensive blue line right side. Matt Boldy stops at the goal line, looks for some help. Found Faber at the point. Now left side. Brodina's shot swallowed up by Hill.
Yeah, Faber coming in a little bit late there, coming off the bench. They had to slow things down just a little bit. That power play by the Vegas Golden Knights had 2 shots to the netminder. That evens things up in that department. Both teams now with 2 shots with the man advantage. But the faceoff is going to be to the right of Aiden Hill, who has not seen a lot of action since the middle point of period number 1.
Golden Knights in Game 3 scenarios, 11-5 all-time, 8-4 on the road in their Stanley Cup playoff history. The Wild 9-7, 7-5 on home ice. Minnesota win, tied 1-1 in a best-of-7, is actually 3 series wins and 4 series lost. So they've been pretty good in a 1-1 series scenario, given their all-time playoff history, as Rossi sends one in. Kick saved by Hill with traffic going that way. Nearing the midway point of regulation. Wild from left to right on your radio dial in the second. Holding in the point was Faber. His long shot, though, ricocheted off a body, kicked back out to the neutral zone. Kaprizov stabbing it free, Zuccarello. It's Rossi, Kaprizov, and Zuccarello after the successful penalty kill for Minnesota. A lot of chemistry and time spent together between those three players, of course. Bouncing puck for Whitecloud at his own right circle. Skied it over the head of Rossi and out the center. Middleton hurries it to the right wing board. Spurgeon lofts it in off the glass. Hartman, fresh off the Wild bench, tried to dig it free for Kaprizov, but it rolled just past him, and Riley Smith will churn it the other way. Zuccarello angles it back as he got to a loose puck at center. Spurgeon up ice. Hartman frisbees it in. A bouncer that's grabbed by Whitecloud, trying to cut away from the pressure of Foligno. Foligno hounds Whitecloud and came up with the puck for a moment. Riley Smith, though, able to grab it then and at least get it out to center, where Foligno will re-establish possession and turn it right back in.
Yeah, Foligno's always engaged.
Riley Smith charging up ice for Vegas. Bogosian crashed into him and threw him into the glass, and the Wild clear back the other way. 9.5 minutes to go. Second period of Game 3. Wild 2, Golden Knights 1 here in St. Paul. Shea Theodore launches one ahead, tipped in by Colasar, goes to the right of Gustafsson. Bogosian hurried back for it. Avoided that hit from Colasar, couldn't clear it out. Second try for Bogosian, rolled it around his end wall. Here's Bouillon. Bumped by Waugh. Bouncing puck came out through the slot. Johansson knuckled it from trouble, and Bouillon just skips it out through the center ice area. It ends up in the benches, and a whistle here. Timeout on the ice. 9:07 to go, second period. The Wild still with a 2-1 lead in Game 3. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
Buckle up for an unforgettable night when Rick Springfield brings the I Want My 80s tour to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Relive the 80s with Jesse's Girl, Don't Talk to Strangers, and other Springfield classics, as well as hits from special guests John Waite, Wang Chung, and Paul Young. Come ready to rock when this all-star lineup hits the Treasure Island Amphitheater on Thursday, June 19th. Get your tickets at TICasino.com.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Stanley Cup scoreboard.
We got a couple of finals, including in Ottawa. Game knotted at 2 apiece. They go to overtime, and Simon Benoit gets the overtime winner. Leafs lead that best-of-7 series 3-0. Nyes scores again for the Leafs. Austin Matthews with a goal and an assist as well. Panthers up 2-0 on the Lightning. They beat the Lightning tonight 2-0 in Tampa. And how about this one in progress? In St. Louis, the Blues lead the Jets 3-0 after one period of play. That is a shocker, to say the least. Back to Joe and Tom. I think I've seen that before, haven't I? 3-0 after one period? I think you're right. Well, right now the faceoff is going to be deep in the Minnesota zone to the left of Philip Gustafsson. 9:07 to go here in period number 2. Still 2-1 in favor of Minnesota, but they're playing with fire here. The shots right now 15-12 in favor of the Golden Knights, but Minnesota's got to get more action going, more puck movement, and going into that offensive zone.
Top line on top line here. Eriksson Ek wins the draw back from Michael. Left wing side, Berdine bounces it out the center, just out of the reach of Pietrangelo, so icing waved off. Hanifin scurries back. Boldy bothers him. Boldy came up with the puck. Boldy in tight with a shot. He scores! Oh, Matt Boldy stripped the Golden Knights defense and lasered it in. It's 3-1 Wild.
And there's no place for the defenseman to hide on this one. Boldy just outsmarted him, outworked him, got the puck, and gave Minnesota that 2-goal lead once again. This coming at 11 minutes and 5 seconds. I mean, my goodness, what were they thinking? Icing was waved off, and they knew that. So it's not that they didn't catch him by surprise, but came in behind the net, and they just miscued on that one. Boldy was there to be the recipient after it was lost by Hanifin, and it's in the net. This one coming at 11 minutes and 5 seconds.
He went back across the grain to the glove side after he snuck out over that left shoulder of Hill. Netminder down, wrist shot, back of the net.
Yeah, once again, Boley, he's involved in everything. He had an assist on the first goal by Kaprizov. He gets his own goal here.
A man possessed so far in round one. Matt Boley, his fourth of the series. Golden Knights right back in the offensive zone. Spurgeon behind his own net. Had some trouble back there. Tries to leak out right side. Has to cut back behind the cage again and backhand one off the glass and out through center.
11:05. Boley alone. And 11:05 for the Wild.
Johansson in the left wing corners. The Wild fly one in. So the 2-goal lead restored for Minnesota. Boley had a helper on the first one. Another 2-point game here in this series. Here's Tomas Hertl navigating along for the Golden Knights. Jammed on the brakes just outside the right circle. Hertl surveys. Late help coming. Fresh defenseman off the bench. Whitecloud went right back to Hertl. Shot blocked by Gaudreau. Came free for Whitecloud. Fanned on it. And Johansson taps along Spurgeon outlets. Zuccarello, who scored in Game 2, hits the red line and fires it in. Wild finish a change. Johansson won the battle against Dorofeev on the forecheck. It's twisted along on a second effort by Vegas. Eric Sinek right back out there trying to pressure. Now Boldy with a little bit of a run at Hertl. Lasering home run pass by Whitecloud. Knuckles into the Wild zone. Bogosian quickly up right wing boards. Trenyon stepping over the blue line. Rolled it to Rossi. Rossi right circle a shot. Hill juggled it. Trenyon in the rebound. Jammed it back out in front. Rossi will reach for it. Plucked it up top. Bouillon. Back to Rossi. Snapping one. That pinball just wide off a couple of bodies to the right of Hill. Giveaway again by the Golden Knights. Trenyon to Rossi, upended. Play continues. Whitecloud stapled to the glass on a heavy hit by Trenyon, the big Russian, and the Golden Knights will fire it out the center. Boy, the momentum shifts in this hockey game, Tom.
Yeah, it really has shifted right now. Minnesota, that goal certainly has energized the Minnesota bench.
Whitecloud rimmed it around. Riley Smith to William Karlsson. Full head of steam. Watched by Brodin. Drop pass. Hannafin left side. Olofsson a shot. Rose off a Faber stick. Kicks all the way out the center. Hartman's got it for the Wild. 2-on-2 rush. Hartman into the Golden Knights slot. And as he dropped it off, a whistle for offside.
Offside. Oh, boy. That's too bad. It was a good
barely hear the whistle.
No, it was a good shift by Minnesota on that one. No question about it. Well, joining for Tom Reed's hotline following the second period as we talk Wild, the NHL, and Stanley Cup playoffs. Get involved in the conversation. Text in your comments at 64686. That's 64686. And one random listener could win a pair of tickets for Game 4 on Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. start here in St. Paul.
Tom, did you notice when Z Bouillon gets the puck on his stick in the offensive zone, 18,000 maniacs are telling him to shoot it.
I wonder why.
Because they were probably at Tom Reed's Hockey City pub beforehand. And they don't want him to make his own decisions. Nyquist on the draw.
Make smart decisions, especially in the pub.
Good point. McNabb through the center ice area. Colasar plays it in. Gustafsson watches Faber come back. Now Brodin, left wing side. Good poise to connect with Foligno. Across to the weak side D. Faber hits the red line. Blasts it in. Hayden Hill directed traffic. First man on the scene, the Wild's Nyquist. Golden Knights turn another puck over. Hartman hustled it in front. It kicks to the left point. Brodin loads, fires. It blocked off the body of Colasar. Hit the netting. And a whistle.
Amazing. You get a goal like that. Look at the energy that comes down on the ice. The guys in the ice, they want to get in. They want to be a part of it. 2-goal lead right now by Minnesota with 6:19 to go here in period number 2.
Tom, after the goal by Boldy, Bruce Cassidy had his palms up in the air. I was wondering if he thought maybe Boldy infracted Hannafin in on the forecheck or if he was upset there was no icing. But to your point, that was waved off almost immediately. It was inches from Petrangelo's stick blade on the clear down by the Wild. So I thought it was the right call to wave it off, and they did it early enough where Vegas should have been aware. And the replay shows Hannafin tried to make a pass that just hit Boldy. So there was no penalty calls. Boldy here sails one just over the shoulder of Hill from an impossible angle.
And you're right, Joe. They knew it was no icing call, but they just slowed down. And that split second you slow down is when you're going to give up an opportunity, and it paid off dividends for Minnesota.
Eric Sinek back covering for Middleton, who had pinched in. Eichel rims his puck in from center. Gustafsson shoves it off his glass. Hannafin tried to hustle it in front, muted by Eric Sinek, and tapped out the center ice by Boldy. Kaprizov nearly came free. Now a pass by Eric Sinek does find Boldy. After the Golden Knights had another puck in center ice, kind of give them some trouble. They were a little careless with the puck in Game 2, to say the least. It was talked about. Bruce Cassidy said they addressed it and kind of just thought really good players had a tough night. They've given some pucks away here in the second. It's Dorofeev off a steal with a shot. Must have glanced off Faber as that thing missed by a mile. Faber in his right wing corner. Wrapped up by Pavel Dorofeev. 5:20 left, second period. Haig pinches in, sent it behind the net. It bounced away from Dorofeev. He'll hustle to it, initiate contact on Brodin. Dorofeev keeps in, saucered it along to Haig, who spins it around behind the net, hoping for Eichel. Eichel coming out right side, Jack Eichel, dancing with the puck. Waiting, got it into the corner, a centering pass, ricocheted up top, Haig with a drive, and that's in the belly of Philip Gustafsson.
Yeah, look how far out it is also from that goal line, right at the end of the blue paint area, but he makes a save on that one, and that will get the stoppage of play and the chance to scrape up the ice.
5 minutes to go, period 2, game number 3. The Wild leading the Golden Knights 3-1 here at home. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
So, after you lift weights, your body keeps burning calories for hours post-workout.
Oh, like a BMO Savings Builder account.
What?
With BMO, I can get a reward every month I save.
So, you're getting an extra reward for the work you've already done?
Exactly. Plus, BMO gave me a cash bonus when I opened a checking account.
That's a flex.
This is a flex. Check out these pythons.
Pump up your savings with BMO. Conditions apply. Learn more at BMO.com/kickstart. Accounts are subject to approval and are provided in the United States by BMO Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
BMO. At the Home Depot, we know the world is a messy place. Keeping it clean takes science. That's why businesses everywhere have long trusted cleaning products from Ecolab to take on the toughest messes. And now, that level of clean is available for your home. Introducing Ecolab Scientific Clean, a full line of professional-grade cleaning products for all your home's needs, so you can clean like you mean business. Now available exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Cub has everything you need. Fresh food, big savings, and your family's favorites, all in one stop. No running around, just one trip and you're done. This week, get Driscoll's Raspberries, 6-ounce packages, 2 for $5 with MyCub Rewards. Holstone Farms Center-Cut Boneless Pork Chops, value pack, $2.99 per pound. And Armor Meatballs in select sizes are $3.99. Grab these deals and more at Cub, your one-stop shop. See store for details.
Well, 5 minutes exactly showing on the big board. Time remaining here in period number 2. It's 3-1 in favor of Minnesota here in the second. Minnesota getting the only goal of the second here by Bull.
Rips it off from the backside. Walker loses his helmet, has to retreat. That was one right there the referees just missed.
We've seen that helmet now called at least twice here in these postseason games.
It was called earlier today on the Florida-Tampa Bay game.
Jets hold it in. Niederreiter to the front of the net. The backhander there. Bennington is on it. Falcon Lowry. They'll go nose to nose. The linesman's going to come in. They're going to have a conversation. The linesman is smiling. Do you miss that at all as a player?
Every now and then, yeah. If you had some social linesmen that they would do. We had some referees, this is back in 20 years ago too, when it was a little bit more open, but there was a referee, I couldn't think of his name, Curbs. He was in the minors. I'm sure someone listening out there maybe would know him. He was great. Whenever you complained about being hit or cross-checked or high-stuck, his only response was this. He never called penalties. His response was, we'll fight him. That's all he said.
Appleton on the near wing shoots a low shot wide of the net. Solid pressure from Winnipeg to open up this second period here. 2 minutes in. Appleton to the near side straight away. Miller with a shot blocked out and off of Toropchenko, and he's going to limp that one off. Jets are going to get it in off of Stanley again. Coming around to the near side. Played to the front of the net. It goes wide. Blues have to stick with what got them through that first period, don't they, Joe?
They do. Right now, Winnipeg is going to have a response. This is a good hockey team. They're going to have a little bit of a jump here, and right now they've spent the first 3.5 minutes in the Bluesy zone.
Big stick by Toropchenko, denied a rink-wide pass to Appleton. Then he wins the battle of the puck along the wall. He's only 25 years old, Alexei Toropchenko.
That was such a great play, the way he came all the way down there to help out.
Still wincing as he skates to the bench after blocking that shot from Miller. Puck comes out of the zone. Texier makes the play at center. As 3 Jets trying to take it away, they finally do and dump it in. Falk chasing it down behind the Blues net. Rims it up the near wall. Texier to center. Bolduc plays it around Pionk. In on the forecheck, lines up Morrissey, and he takes the puck down in behind the net. Play coming to the near wing. Broberg centering, and it hits off Sundqvist. Misses the net. Back to Falk. Along the line to Broberg. Puts it down in behind the net. Touched over by Sundqvist on the far side. And the puck goes down into the corner, now loose behind the goal. Sundqvist trying to chop at it. Morrissey able to make the play. Pionk checked into by Bolduc, and that puck came out, but it'll be whistled dead on a hand pass. You know, Joe, we watch Oscar Sundqvist, and we saw him during that great championship run. We saw him traded away. We saw this team without him. He got healthier as this season went along, and man, that is just a big body in the middle that competes.
Well, he was a player a couple years back that had, a hip surgery, 2 knee surgeries, and his whole lower body was just put through the ringer. When you go through one ACL is hard enough, and then one hip. I mean, to do basically 3 joints in your lower body and still survive as a hockey player, it's asking a lot. What I mean by that is it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And it took him a couple years for him to feel completely normal. But this Oscar Sundqvist we are seeing now, Curbs, it does. It reminds you of the 2019 Oscar Sundqvist when he was at his absolute very best with Barbashev and Steen.
Yep. Nobody feels normal after 3 joints, I'll tell you that.
I'm telling you.
15:51 to go in the second period. Jets rim it over to the far side. Pionk's play blocked away by Butch Navich. Thomas gets to it, and he gives it to Snuggerud. Goes back to Thomas up the right side.
I'm going to trust you on that one.
I'm going to have to just... Yeah, I might be the wrong guy to trust, to be honest with you. I'm going on what I've seen, not what I've done. 15:25 to go in the second period. 3-0. St. Louis leading here in Game 3. Jets lead in the series 2-0. Braden Shen battling along the end boards on Perfetti. It comes loose. Scheifele snaps it over near wing. Luke Shen with a shot. Bennington there the save. Broberg a good job on Perfetti in front of the net, making sure Bennington saw that shot coming in.
Yeah, Broberg does a heck of a job getting on the defensive side of Perfetti. He's actually doing a really good job. Perfetti's actually on the right side as Sandberg has that puck on the far side point. As it shifts over to Luke Shen, you actually see the Winnipeg forward try to jump on the other side of Broberg, and he actually just plants his body, bends his knees, and boxes him out from the flip side. So a forward trying to fight for space in the right angle to screen the goalie, and Broberg just recognizes the D-to-D, recognizes he's now on the right side, and just boxes him out completely. Easy glove save for Bennington.
Well, we're just about 5 minutes into this second period. No shots on goal yet for the St. Louis Blues. They end up with an offside whistle. Neutral zone faceoff coming up. This is one of those trends. You want to make sure that this second period doesn't feel more like the third period in the last 2 games.
Well, the last 2 games in Winnipeg, the Blues got worse as the game went on. Winnipeg got better. We talked about the difference in this game of how the Blues can find successes. As good as you've been in the first, get on the board. Get on the board early, get on the board consistently, create yourself a little bit of a cushion. The Blues have done that. Now here comes that Winnipeg push. We'll see if it's enough.
Puck dumped in by Winnipeg. Comes around to the near wing. 2 Jets are all over it. Sundqvist battling to try and knock it loose. Does. It's up to Texier. He gets it out. Tried to backhand it into the Jet zone. Does. Slowed down by Luke Shen as it goes over to Logan Stanley. Rimmed into the point. Now put in behind the goal. Texier there to pick it up. Had Bolduc in front. But a quick play by the Jets. They're able to get it out. Sundqvist will go back. Saucers it all the way over to Broberg on the near wing. Couple of Swedish St. Louis Blues play that puck out to center ice. They'll dump it in. Luke Shen's going to get called for tripping. Boy, that's an unintentional one, but he got the blade of his stick into the skates of Sundqvist. And now this is a big power play for the Blues.
Oscar Sundqvist, he dumps the puck and tries to jump around Luke Shen. Steps on the blade and just takes out the footing of number 70 as he's trying to get it on the forecheck. Good tripping call right there, Kurds. And one of the things in this series is beginning to really stand out out is not only the penalties for Winnipeg, but Luke Shen, of all people. Yeah, this is his second penalty of the game. He took a roughing minor in Game 2. I believe another one there in Game 1. So number 5, Luke Shen, the older brother of Braden, having a rough time for this Jets team staying out of the penalty box, and it's hurt him.
Winnipeg penalty number 5.
Jets win the faceoff again. They bring it up the far wing. Come over the line. Here's an even up goal. Blues are going to get called for a slash, I believe. Robert Thomas, well, actually it'll be called for the hook. And that's unfortunate because Blues are on a power play that'll end 12 seconds in.
Well, it starts with the D-zone faceoff once again. The Jets win the faceoff, and that kind of propels their offense. You heard Jim Montgomery, he puts up a finger, puts up a one finger. What he's saying, Curbs, is Thomas has got one hand on his stick when they make this. Oh my goodness, that is really, really rough. Really rough. There was really nothing there. Yeah, there's just... Yeah, he had one hand on his stick when I followed, and he didn't even lose puck possession. So pretty ticky-tacky right there, and this is going to take away the power play. You hear the fans' disapproval in the background, and let them have it. I don't blame you.
We'll go to 4-on-4 hockey now in a 3-0 game. Get the puck set up on the line. Kyrou coming down low with it, misses Fowler. Fowler and Parayko, Shen and Kyrou on the ice. The floor for the St. Louis Blues right now. Minute 28 to go in the Luke Shen penalty for tripping. Blues power play lasted 12 seconds. Winnipeg's going to get it over the line. Scheifele will send it down to the near wing. Pionk wins the foot race against Kyrou. They get it from Connor over to Morrissey. It fell off of his stick. That'll cause visiting management to punch the counter near us. Pionk lost it in the middle. Shen clears it out. Now the puck pulled over the line by Kyrou. Takes it into the middle. Fires a shot. It's trickled down low. Comes to Buchnevich. Shooting and a save by Hellebuck. First chance of the second period for the Blues coming nearly 7 minutes in.
Yeah, Buchnevich there looking for the hat trick. He goes far side. That one hit the top of the knob of Connor Hellebuck's stick, or else Curves. I think that's bar down.
Buchnevich stole it in the offensive zone. His pass to Snuggerud deflects down into the corner. Played around by Winnipeg to Nemesnikov. Checked into by Buchnevich. 32 seconds to go in 4-on-4. Blues puck played into the far corner. Miller will go to get it again. He's inserted into the lineup for Winnipeg. Dylan DeMello is scratch. Nemesnikov gets it out of the zone. Snuggerud stays with him, and he forced the Jets back into their own end. Winnipeg will have an abbreviated power play of just 12 seconds here, coming up in 10 seconds. They go from D to D, and on the far wing, Sandberg's going to move it out. Over the line they go. Perfetti with a shot on, and a rebound loose, picked up by Foxa. It's caught by Sandberg. Toropchenko jams it away. Bulk keeps it moving over to Broberg. 3 seconds to go in the power play for Winnipeg. We go back to 5-on-5. Thomas is out of the box, and the score remains 3-0 St. Louis. 8 minutes gone here in period 2. Kyle Connor with a shot on. Binnington the save. Steers it over to Leddy. Now to Toropchenko. His pass gets blocked away. Iafalo's going to pick it up. Jets will get possession. Winnipeg has had 6 shots on goal this period. The Blues 1. The Jets. Is that icing or offside, Joe?
And it's offside here.
11:39 to go. Offside whistled against Winnipeg. Power play goal by the Blues in the first, by the way. Just a reminder, the Ameren, Missouri Power Play Goals for Kids program, they donated $21,500 to help kids reach their goals this year. That's pretty darn awesome. Bring you back to Enterprise Center in a moment. It's in the second period, 11:39 to go. Blues lead 3-0. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
What's up, Blues fans? Enjoying the game should be easy, so don't overthink it. What to wear? Done. Just toss on your Lucky Blues jersey. Don't know what to serve your friends? Easy. Pick up some pizza from your go-to place and grab some Bud Light to stock your fridge. See? It's that easy. Just like Bud Light, which is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly, 21 or older. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
88,000 satisfied customers since 1929. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
At Bommarito, we have created the easiest way for you to sell your car. Just go to bommarito.com, click on the Sell Trade tab, answer a few questions, and we will give you a real purchase offer. When you're ready to sell, go to bommarito.com for Price Buys Cars.
Have a little St. Louis Blues fan in your life? Sign them up for the all-new Blue Note Kids Club presented by Scott Credit Union. Membership is free and includes access to a special kids section and rewards program on the Blues app, special ticket offers and event invites, and a Louis sticker. If you want to take your membership to the next level, become a Kids Club Select member and get a Louis fan chain, free game ticket, and either a Louis jersey or plush. Sign up your little fan today at stlouisblues.com/kidsclub.
The world's greatest coverage.
Taves 3-on-1. Taves, Lee, scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Oh!
Welcome back to Enterprise Center. 3-0. St. Louis.
I didn't know I was live there. I was commenting on the kiss cam. One gal was getting after it.
Blues shoot it to the front of the net. Hellebuck makes the save. Tucker steps up trying to hold it in. Trying to battle it loose, and it's knocked out of the zone by Gustafsson. Comes back to Bolduc, and he'll shoot it in. Skate around Schenn. Here's Stanley to play the puck on the near wing as he gets it up along the wall, and Anderson Dolan has it. The Blues force a turnover. Into Sundqvist with a shot, and Anderson Dolan able to block that one away. Sundqvist forechecks it loose. Schenn comes in to hit Oscar. Spelled with a K, by the way. And the puck cleared out of the zone. Bounced ahead. Blues deny the line. That would have been a 2-on-1. A nice play there by Tyler Tucker, Joe.
Well, his gap was exceptional. And again, this is Tyler Tucker in for Ryan Suter. Ryan Suter, the most playoff experience of any player in this series, taking a sub out for a young Tyler Tucker. Only his second NHL playoff game here occurs, but boy, he looks comfortable.
Broberg takes a hooking penalty on Appleton, and he knows it. He was well, maybe not quick enough with the puck, and Lowry lined up to hit him. And as a result, they go to the penalty kill.
Well, listen, the good news is when you have such a great start, you're ahead 3-0 early in the game. That's good, right? The bad news is there's just so much hockey left. I mean, we're not even halfway through yet, Curbs. The Winnipeg Jets now on the power play. It has been a power play outside of the Scheifele goal in Game 1, which was a lucky bounce off of Suter's stick. It's been a very dormant power play, but it can explode at any time. What I mean by the early lead success, which is great, but the flip side is a lot of time, you're not even halfway through. If this power play gets clicking here, all of a sudden it's a 2-goal game with half the game in front of you. Big kill coming.
Scheifele wins the draw. Morrissey with a shot. It's loose in front. The Blues knock it over, and Toropchenko's going to clear it out. I got to tell you, I mentioned earlier that Toropchenko's only 25. You think of the young, terrific players the Blues have. That is still very young for this impactful fourth-line forward the Blues have.
It's incredible, all the youth in the lineup right now.
Jets go in to set it up. Blues to the Rottler Pest Solutions penalty kill. Scheifele trying to put his team on the board. He's got the puck. They dance it down low. Connor, backdoor. Binnington, the glove save.
It might be in.
Reaches back. Keeps it out. Goal Perfetti says he thought it was in. Binnington's glove. Kept it from the net.
Yeah, they're saying this is anything. Ooh, it's going to be close.
And they might have to check this one.
Yeah, they're going to check it, no doubt about it. This will come from Toronto. The Winnipeg Jets are on their feet looking at the replay, slamming their sticks. They're all huddled up around the bench. So this will be looked at. Perfetti felt like it definitely was in the net. It's a glove save, but the question comes, did it fully cross the line? It was called a no goal on the ice from Kyle Raymond, who was in a good spot behind. He was certain it did not cross the line, Curbs. We have not seen an overhead yet. That will tell us. And remember, you have to see...
This is a league review. This isn't a challenge from Winnipeg. I can do any more than what Jordan did there, Joe.
No, I mean, he saved the puck. Here's a good look here. Man, man.
Well, I don't know. You got that. Look where the line is. And look where that puck is.
I don't think there's enough to overturn this, Curve.
At least from that angle that we see.
I don't think. I mean, we're looking at if I'm a Crow,
like right there. See where the puck is? Oh. You'd have to see that puck is fully across that line.
And they're putting it on the jumbotron. You hear the fans. Fans don't think it went in. This is about as close as it gets. The puck goes into the glove. Oh yeah. Look at this one here.
Well, where's the line though?
The red. I don't know. I think they made that one right there shows it to me. It's fully crossed. This may be turned over. We had the bird's eye as if I was on the roof of the building looking down. That did not show conclusive evidence, but they have a camera right under the crossbar. That one, when you slow it down, man, that one to me, it looks like that one does get into the glove. It goes, it scoops, it comes to the doggone, I think that's in.
That one does look inside the post.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I think they're going to turn this one around. This is going to be a 3-1 game with the Perfetti power play goal.
But in the meantime, fans, you're invited to join us for the Blues Bash presented by Bud Light. Watch the Blues take on the Winnipeg Jets on Sunday, April 27th. That's a noon start at either Hot Shots in Fenton or at Ballpark Village. I do like how here in St. Louis, they show the replays on the video board. Why would you take 18,500 fans and not give them access to what everybody on TV has or here has?
I agree.
Now, not every team or arena does that. I can tell you that the Blues chairman, Tom Stillman, wants it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of places don't like it because if it goes not in favor of the home team, they don't want a crowd reaction. But, crowd reactions, they don't even really matter anymore. It's with the technology and the communication with Toronto, these two referees, veteran referees right now, I don't think any crowd reaction is going to sway them one way or another. But they're still looking. I mean, they're taking a deep look at it.
Well, the one thing about that is you've got to know where the line is, and either way, you're making an assumption here. Now, I think it's an educated, fair assumption, right? But you're making an assumption, So the question is are you allowed to make a fair assumption? Because you can see where the puck in this one view almost looks like it goes inside the post.
Yeah.
But the post, it's got to be past the post. The post is not wider than the line.
I think they're having technical difficulties with the iPad. That's what the delay is. Look, you can tell by the body language there's miscommunication. I think maybe there's no audio. Fans are getting a little impatient here. You see the men, they're working their best they can in the penalty box to try to support.
Yeah, but you know where they don't have a problem is in Toronto. So they can see it, you tell them what to do. This call is not left to these two guys.
No, it's not. I think that maybe they're having communication from Toronto to the actual referees, though. That becomes the issue.
You mean on the headset?
On the headset, yeah. They're trying to grab a phone, so I think they may not be able to talk about it. So maybe this does become more of a referee discretion like the old days.
Like, here's the thing. Oh, yeah, that one sure looks like it's in. I mean, there's a really clear play. I'm going to have a hard time believing this thing doesn't get called a goal.
Yeah.
And if it does get waved off, I definitely think that there's the puck luck the Blues haven't had much of in this series.
Yeah. Yeah, there's frustration. Yeah, there's some frustration with the workers in the penalty box.
This has taken way too long.
Well, and honestly, if there's any kind of miscommunication, I think with this, it could favor the St. Louis Blues because to me,
I think it's a goal, Joe.
Was that?
I think it's a goal.
Oh, I think it's a goal, no question about it.
After video review, the call on the ice stands, it's no goal.
Wow.
What I mean, Joe, is I don't think this thing's a good goal.
I don't really understand that.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I believe they made that. Just my opinion here. I think it actually got in. When you look at the one shot that they've got of that puck, the goal line is not wider than the goal post. So if you can't tell that the entire puck is past the goal post, right? You've got to wave it off because that's what the call
makes sense.
That's the only thing I can think of. But you and I both thought that that's probably a goal.
I think the crowds was certainly pleased by that, maybe a little surprised by it, especially with that last video replay they showed. Well, here we go. Still on the power play for Winnipeg.
It's still on the power play. Blues on the Rottler Pest Solutions penalty kill. Winnipeg holds it in. Perfetti now on the near wing. Down Down to the hash marks, goes to Scheifele. Iafalo's in the middle. Scheifele passes far side. Connor straight away. Morrissey a shot wide. Rebound bounces past Perfetti. Racing to it. Buchnevich can't clear. And then a deflected puck on great pressure by Robert Thomas. Blues are killing with Thomas, who gets to the bench. Coming on is Sundqvist. Sundqvist and Buchnevich. Fowler and Parayko, the quartet on the ice for the Blues. 35 seconds to go in the Winnipeg power play. Their pass back to the point ends up all the way down. That allows Buchnevich, Parayko, Fowler to change. Tucker coming on with Falk. Sundqvist joined up front by Nathan Walker. And the puck brought up the near side. Mason Appleton in over the line. Shoots it over to the far side. Slowed down by Falk. Hammered out by Tucker. And the puck back down all the way to the Winnipeg goal line.
Yeah, great communication between the 70s back there. 75 and 72. Tucker and Falk looking good together.
Jets in. Back to even strength. Puck deflects through to the near side. Broberg's out of the box. 3D on the ice for the Blues. Sandberg with a shot. Oh, he let it go wide of the net. That Karam's out of the zone. Do you use the word Karam in any other walk of life other than sports?
I don't think so. I like to see you use that word more, though. It's got a good rhythm to it. Kind of falls off the tongue nicely.
It's like the word stave. In sports, you stave off elimination. The only other reason you're using the word stave is if you're talking about a bourbon barrel. 7:54 to go. We're in the second. 3-0. Good and a very important penalty kill for the St. Louis Blues. They keep it 3-0 as we just pass the midway point of the hockey game. Pass comes up to Braden Shen. Goes to dump it in as he's checked by Anderson Dolan. Now to Lowry over the line. Puts it into the corner. Two bodies fall to the ice. That's Tanev and Tucker. Blues get it ahead. Kyrou in. Drags. Centers. Tucker draws the penalty. Rather Texier. Jets are going to touch it. And a great move by Jordan Kyrou. Passing that puck over to Texier. And now the Jets trying to draw the Blues in again. Braden Shen will just stand in the middle. Smile a little bit and say, let's go to the power play. But Braden looks at Adam Lowry and says, listen, when we're done, we'll go to the power play after Joe gets done with his hockey halftime. That's pretty sure that's what Braden Shen.
I would hope so. Yeah, he should know.
He's very thoughtful. I know he likes you.
Well, I tell you, it was a heck of a job by Braden to not get baited into that as Adam Lowry was trying to after the original penalty. Here's calling the ice. Yeah, so the Blues will go back to the power play curves, and no lead certainly safe in this one, and a big power play coming up. You know, in the pregame, talking to some of the players this morning and what we observed, you know, being around this team, especially since the Four Nations break, all the success they had down the stretch, to me, a huge part of that was the offense from defensemen. Cam Fowler, Justin Falk, Colton Parayko, Philip Broberg, even the Tuckers and the Suitors, the way that Jim Montgomery coached his team post Four Nations break to join the rush and stay in on the offense. That's what was a huge piece of their success. It really throws a defensive opposition off their mark because they're trying to focus on the three forwards, and all of a sudden there's a fourth that's unaccounted for below the goal line, behind the net, in front of the net, in the blue paint. That's, to me, one of the key factors that Jim Montgomery has done for this group that has put them in this position. You look at the way these first two games have evolved in Winnipeg. Almost completely non-existent. Not exactly sure why. I would imagine it was because they wanted to be definitely more defensive responsible, to be on the defensive side of battles. I think every team, or both these teams, certainly came in with the impression that this would be a defensive struggle and a defensive battle, so they'll always be on the secure side of things. And then I'm looking at a Blues team now, Chris Kerber, that looks exactly like the team post Four Nations break. They have D joining. Look at the Cam Fowler goal. They have Colton Parayko joining the offense, staying in around the offensive cycle. Plenty of defensemen joining rush, staying with the rush. And to me, that's been the biggest reason for the Blues' offensive success and spark they found here.
Huge loud cheer here as Tony La Russa's in the building. A standing ovation for the Cardinal Hall of Famer. obviously will be a baseball Hall of Famer. Amazing career for him. To your point, Joe, 23 shot attempts tonight by the St. Louis Blues defense. 7 of them have gone on goal. Yeah. Obviously, Fowler has the goal. Yeah. 23 shot attempts by just your defense.
It's been the biggest difference. Mike Weber doesn't get enough credit for how he coordinates those guys back there and gives them the freedom to jump, and it gives them a ton of confidence as well.
So the Blues go to the Ameren, Missouri power play. Hooking penalty. Taken by Anderson Dolan. The Blues battle to get the puck loose. It gets cleared out by Winnipeg. Last time the Blues had a power play, 12 seconds in, Thomas was whistled for hooking. This line is on the ice. What a play by Buchnevich to get that puck over the line. Now to Snuggerud, through to Thomas. What a pass. And Bolduc's stick snaps in half as he tried to wire one to the goal. Jack's going to get him one from the bench. And now the new stick sent off of Bolduc, but a deflected puck, and it's cleared out. Jack, by the way, is Jack Marquardt, one of the equipment managers for the Blues, and his job is to quickly get a stick back over the boards. Yeah, it's amazing how fast they are.
Well, they have their hands on sticks. They hit as soon as the players go on the ice, they're all kind of dialed in.
Neighbors, the fault shot on. Oh, the rebound from Sundqvist and Shen just missed. Sundqvist will go into the corner. Neighbors pokes it loose. Falk on the power play. Now to Kyrou. Third power play of the game for the Blues, over to Shen. 33 seconds to go in the man advantage. Falk to Kyrou, to the slot. Neighbors right on. And Stanley does a job of knocking the puck loose. It comes free. Connor's going to bring it out shorthanded. The Jet star over the line. In shooting. Bennington gets a piece. Sundqvist onto the puck. Out to Neighbors in the neutral zone. Wires it into the offensive end. Jets will clear it back out. And it's coming back with 7 seconds to go. So 2 power play chances for the Blues to get it to 4-0. Unable to accomplish it. One was only 12 seconds long. This one the full 2 minutes. On the flip side, you killed 2 more minutes of playing time, Joe.
Well, I tell you what, you won with 5:18 to go here in the second period. It's super important they go to this intermission with the score at least at what it's at right now. You can't give a 2-goal lead to this Winnipeg team with 20 minutes ahead of them.
Toropchenko slinkies it down the wall. Then goes into the corner now behind the net to Foxa. It's chopped loose. Lowry checked into there by Walker. The Jets will send it in. Tanev and Broberg. A puck played ahead. Parayko bumped into by Lowry. Walker gets back to help out. Winnipeg to Sandberg. Wide open to Pionk, waiting for traffic, and a shot lasered wide. Now to Scheifele, coming on for Lowry to Sandberg. Deflected shot comes to the near corner. Broberg in a battle with Appleton, and the Blues defenseman will clear the zone. 3-0 St. Louis. All the goals in the first period. Buchnevich 48 seconds in at even strength, then a power play goal at 3:11. Fowler made it 3-0 at 15:52. Jets to the far wing, shooting it wide of the goal is Sandberg. Winnipeg in the blue zone. Pionk to Sandberg to the far wing. Connor centering, and Scheifele was there. Parayko did a great job. Heavy on the stick on Scheifele, and the puck went wide.
Yeah, right in Scheifele's wheelhouse. That's where he's been so good this series, right in front of the blue paint.
Thomas holds it in. Texier goes to the far wing to Walker. Back to Texier in behind the net. Now to Thomas off the near circle. Up to the line for Fowler. Wrist shot, got it on. And another save by Hellebuck. 3:42 to go in the period. Robert Thomas with 2 assists in the game. Finding Snuggerud out high. Throws it on the near wing. He's on his forehand, and he shoots it off the shoulder of Hellebuck. He won't hesitate to fire the puck, will he?
That's where he scored his first NHL playoff goal last game.
Fowler walks it off the line. Passes Snuggerud, a shot. He let it go wide. Back over to Nick Leddy into the corner now. Texier. Well, the Jets player let go of his stick to avoid a hooking penalty. Blues will bring it over to Snuggerud as they make a line change here. The pass coming over to Tyler Tucker. He'll sling it in. Neighbors chops at it. It's knocked loose, comes out of the zone. Look back in. Jake has to tag up, and he does. 2:58 to go. We're in the second period. This is game 3 of the opening round series. Blues and Jets. Tyler Tucker checks into Niederreiter and makes the play with a stick.
What a play. With one hand on a stick, 2 curves. Chips it behind the net.
Jets get it back. They get it on. Toe save. Bennington. Rebound fired wide. Coming back off the near side. Blues dig in. That's Shen. Battling it loose. Goes over to Falk. And he'll clear to center to Neighbors. He's checked by Miller. Pass to Kyrou. In. Shooting it. Blocker's save made by Hellebuck. That's 21 shots on goal for the Blues. Kyrou again. To the front of the net. Trying to connect to Buchnevich. He's got 2 goals. He's on a Hattie watch. Pavel Buchnevich. Passes near wing. Broberg. Centered off a skate. And that one deflects to the far wall. Shen checked into. The puck cleared. Broken up by Leddy at center. Buchnevich sends it in. Bolduc to Buchnevich. Going back to Bolduc. Miller broke it up.
Oh, look at all the fans and players wanted Buchnevich to shoot that.
They get it to Leddy. Wide open to Broberg. Broberg with a slapper on. Rebound loose. And as Sundqvist dug in, that puck comes back to him in the corner. There's a broken stick, or at least a full stick on the ice. And Bolduc's going to end up with a slashing penalty as he chops down Miller. And Sundqvist will get in the face of Miller. Barron's going to come over. Broberg's going to get in as well. Minute 41 to go. We'll go to a TV timeout.
Yeah, this is one that Bolduc knows he cannot take. He's in it with Miller. They're going back and forth, and then Bolduc just kind of turns and gives him the old tree chop right to the back of the leg. Maybe a bit of a sell by Miller, but you just can't take that penalty away from the play. Minute 41 to go.
St. Louis 76, Moniker slap.
Yeah, minute 41 to go in the second. You got to hold on to this 3-0 lead heading into the intermission. So we'll see if the Blues can get a kill here. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
This is Trey Anastasio from Fish.
Fish is known for legendary live performances.
The thing that I like the most is that everybody says yes to every idea.
And on-stage improvisation.
When I walk on stage, I've trained myself to go completely blank.
Dive into their weird and wonderful world with exclusive commentary and shows hosted by band members.
There's a lot more preparation than might be seen, but there's also a lot more abandon than might be believed.
Fish Radio, Channel 29, and at home with the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
December 15th, Vancouver Canucks were in the playoffs. And this is when they had that big controversy going on. So they had to do something about it. And they did do something about it. Well, now they're not in the playoffs. You know what? They're not even really close anymore. This is the most absurd season falling apart. The most disappointing team this season of the 32 are the Vancouver Canucks.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play. Weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Welcome back to the Enterprise Center. 1:41 to go in the second period. Blues up by 3. Undisciplined penalty here for Zachary Bolduc. He took one in game 1. Certainly a learning lesson for the young man. He ends up falling into this one as well as him and Miller are going back and forth curves like I mentioned. And it's really that hard tree chop right to the back of the leg that draws this one down. And now a huge kill coming up here for St. Louis.
The Jets off the draw, shoot it. Saved by Binnington. The puck cleared around. 3-0 Blues. Blues on a Rottler Pest Solutions penalty kill. They're the official pest control partner of the St. Louis Blues, helping the Blues and the St. Louis community live pest-free. Visit Rottler.com to learn more. Jets over the St. Louis line with 1:17 to go in the period. Tried to backhand it on. Binnington strong on the post on the Iafallo play. And a good bouncing puck cleared out by Parayko. One minute to go, second period. 3-0 Blues lead. Jets on the power play. Bolduc's in the box. They set it up to Morrissey. Parayko, great step up to intercept the pass. Intended for Iafallo off the far wall. He clears it down.
Yeah, look at this top unit. They're frustrated. Look at the body language for Scheifele and Connor and Iafallo. Clearly frustrated.
They get it in again and set it up. Pionk fakes the shot. Over to Nemesnikov. Back to Pionk, finding Niederreiter. Niederreiter down the right wing. To the goal line they go. Perfetti there. Poke checked away by Broberg. Good clear by Walker.
Yeah, it's just good protection through the middle. Great sticks. Bodies are present. Very hard to break that seal into the middle of the ice here for St. Louis.
Over the line on the far side. Niederreiter lost the handle. Nemesnikov puts it into the corner. Broberg trying to settle it down. Can he keep control enough to sling it out? He did. Past Pionk. That's big. 3 seconds to go in the period. They're back to their feet at Enterprise Center. They'll open up the third period, Joe, at 19 seconds of penalty kill time. But the 3-goal first period still stands. It's 3-0 after 2.
Well, it's enough to hold on. I thought it was a good back.
Off the mask in the upper body of Gustafsson. The rebound crunched down by Middleton, left wing corner.
Boy, Gus just read that perfectly once again. He had to go from his right to his left, got right in front of it.
And to shake the cobwebs a bit as the Golden Knights re-attack through center. Hanifin a drop pass. Jack Eichel carries over the blue line, trying to get around Boldy. Eichel right wing wall, jammed it off the end wall. It's going to kick all the way free for Eriksson Ek to just power it down. It actually hit the linesman. Comrie nicely for Boldy, and he'll pitch it in from center. A dozen seconds for now. Kaprizov's out of the box. Almost 6 minutes play in the third. Ton of time to go. The Wild leading the Golden Knights 4-1 in Game 3. Eichel over the blue line to Mark Stone through the high slot. Send it to Hanifin. Right circle. Backdoor pass tipped by Johansson. Rescued by Eichel. Left wing wall. Penalty is over. A backdoor pass for Hertl from Stone went awry. Johansson to it. Fights his way out the center and then just tapped ahead softly into the Golden Knights' end. So each team changes on the fly. Wild PK. A much needed 2 for 2. Shea Theodore to the right wing boards. Carlson rims it in. Faber to his right, tips it along. Hartman grabs it and just pokes it out the center. Bouncing puck grabbed by Zuccarello. Rolled along Kaprizov. He'll sky it towards the Golden Knights slot. Vegas breaks this up. Pietrangelo just offers it out the center. Faber scurries to it. Poked it ahead. Zuccarello was hooked, but an icing call anyway. And Zuccarello doesn't like that. I mean, how's he supposed to tip the puck when his stick's being hooked by the opponent?
So that'll bring the faceoff back deep in the Minnesota zone to the right of Gustafsson, who's been a strength for Minnesota all season long for the most part.
Marcus Johansson not on the Wild bench after that check along the boards to the right of Schmidt earlier in the third period. I mean, did we think the Wild could possibly go 3 games without a player getting injured, Tom?
Oh, boy.
I say it in jest, of course, but it was the reality for most of the regular season. If Pietrangelo keeps in, wheels to his right, flicks it down behind the net looking for Riley Smith, who was closed on by Brodin. Now Brodin left wing corner, guides it along Zuccarello, outletting for Kaprizov. The puck bounced away. Theodore hustles to it. Kaprizov got his stick in that lane. It ends up in the Golden Knights bench, and a timeout here with 12:54 to go in regulation. The Wild lead Game 3 over the visiting Vegas Golden Knights. It's 3-1 Minnesota. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell joined us at the 2025 NFL Draft.
The game evolves, so let's just start with the kickoff.
What we achieved last year, I think, was obviously a different structure. Moving it out to the 35 on a touchback, when you look at the analytics and coaches, and Andy Reid told me this, if it was at 35, I would be kicking it into the kicking zone. And that's what I think is going to happen. We believe it'll go up significantly.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
December 15th, Vancouver Canucks were in the playoffs. And this is when they had that big controversy going on. So they had to do something about it. And they did do something about it. Well, now they're not in the playoffs. You know what? They're not even really close anymore. This is the most absurd season falling apart. The most disappointing team this season of the 32 are the Vancouver Canucks.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that, you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then, we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not. And then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play. Weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Well, face-off at center ice right now. 12:54 to go here in the third period. Minnesota leading by a score of 4-1. Shots right now have Minnesota with 24. The Vegas Golden Knights with 20.
Going into that last break, I believe I mistakenly said 3-1. Tom has the correct score. And when you make mistakes like that, and there's occasionally someone listening, they let you know.
I do it all the time.
Brazo cycles to Trenyon as we're back to live action. It's chipped free, charging in Z Bouillon. On his first ever NHL point back in the opening period as a chance from along the boards by Trenyon tipped wide. Bouillon pinched in, spun, fought through that hit, navigated along, and then had to just replay it out at center and sweep it back in as he was being heavily pressured.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of the puck in that situation. He didn't have the speed there, but he had the presence of mind what to do with the puck.
Bouillon played almost 10 minutes through the first two periods as Waugh walks in through the wild slot. His backhander went wide. Nyquist now bottled up. Puck squeezes behind the wild cage. Brodin jabs it along as Howden took a run at him. This will go all the way down the ice with 12:02 to go in the third. Icing on Minnesota.
And these face-offs are so important, especially in the defensive zone. Well, the Stanley Cup playoffs are heating up, and you won't want to miss a second of the action. Stay connected with everything Wild, from game highlights and the series schedule to the bracket challenge and much more. Be on with the action today at wild.com/playoff central.
Hartman on the face-off, and we'll reset and do it again. Eichel, Stone, and Barbashev out for Vegas. Pietrangelo and Hanifin, the defenseman. Hartman has three skaters to his right, only Brock Faber to his left. And a 4-1 lead for Minnesota. Shots are 25-20 in favor of the Wild. Golden Knights winning the shot battle in each of the first two games. Eichel protects. Back up top, Hanifin a drive. Kick save, Gustafson. The big rebound squeezed along by Brodin out the center off the right wing glass. Quick reset by the Golden Knights. Eichel dance past Trenyon. Walks his way in. Filtered to Pietrangelo. A side angle chance. Gustafson made that save. Golden Knights dig it free at the point. Hanifin wheels it down low. Eichel could only get a chunk of it. Brodin took a look over his shoulder. Got hit by Barbashev as he lifted around looking for Hartman, but Pietrangelo pinched in and kept him at bay. A tie up to the left of Philip Gustafson.
And what Minnesota's doing right now is a great thing. They're just killing the clock.
Puck battle continues deep in the Wild zone. It pops loose. Nyquist swings it free. Faber goes back to Brodin off his end wall. Eichel tries to snuff him out. A right wing pass for Faber. Launched along perfectly onto the tape of Kaprizov, who shook past some pressure for a moment, and then Theodore twisted it back out the center with a poke check. Boldy recovers it. Regroups to Spurgeon. D-to-D Middleton, left side, hammering it along for a tip-in by Eriksson Ek. Back is Brady McNabb.
Yeah, Minnesota really managing the puck right now very well.
Under 11 minutes to go, third period of Game 3. Wild leading by 3. And a 1-1 series coming in. Kaprizov whipped it along. Eriksson Ek trickled it past some trouble, and then as he tried to reach for it, he and Hurdle converge. It ends up in the stands.
And that's going to get the face-off deep in the Minnesota zone once again to the left of Gus. Players on the bench very happy, obviously, right now on the Minnesota side. A lot of effort going in by the coaching staff also, Joe. You really have to compliment John Hines and what he is, how he and his staff have been able to manage this all season long, especially the injuries they've had, key injuries.
Haig off the one, draw to the point. Whitecloud a drive. That tipped wide. Came off the end wall for Kolasar to gather. Keegan Kolasar cycles for Brett Howden, who was bumped once by Bogosian. Now Howden leaned on and thrown to the ice by Bogosian, who was able to force it through center. Back comes Whitecloud. Zuccarello pressures as it's smacked ahead by Vegas. Rossi getting the extra shift here with Marcus Johansson back in the dressing room. We got a penalty call coming. This is going to be on Vegas, it appears. And it is, as Kolasar touches up.
Yeah, I think he can get the stick up a little bit. Or was it a rough? Either way, it's going to be a penalty going against Vegas. At 9:53.
Vegas penalty number 21, 2 minutes, roughing.
Well, Tom, in Game 2, the Wild had a third period power play, and you and I didn't really like the eventual result, which was, I don't even think a shot on goal, but at least took 2 minutes off the clock. And here another chance for the Wild, even if they don't score, to at least run some clock here with 10:07 to go.
Yeah, it's Howden going in the penalty box. He had both goals in game number 1 for Vegas. And so this penalty coming at 9:53.
Eriksson to take the face-off. It's to the right of Schmid, who started the third period for the Golden Knights and has turned aside the 4 shots so far that have come his way. 2 power play goals on the night for Minnesota. Off the one draw, Bouillon through the high slot. Zuccarello left circle, fires one. Schmid the kick save. Rebound to Kaprizov, looking for the hat trick, but his wraparound bid stopped by Schmid. And the loose puck jammed down by the Golden Knights. Out comes Philip Gustafsson. Then Boldy punched it back. Bouillon a quick up. Zuccarello to Kaprizov in on side. Whipped it to the right wing boards a little behind Boldy. He'll reach for it, gather, and send it to the point. Nicely kept in by Bouillon. To the top of the right circle, Eriksson dished along for Boldy. Matt Boldy to the blue line. Z. Bouillon skates across the stripe. Crowd urging a shot. It's flicked along to Kaprizov. Back up top, Bouillon takes a look. Little shimmy shake. He'll spin back again. Dancing with the puck, Bouillon. Left wing boards. Centering. Kaprizov with a wrister. Blocker saved by Schmid, and the rebound twisted down.
You hear the crowd hollering, shoot, shoot, shoot. But the kid doesn't want to shoot yet.
Back out of his own zone comes Bouillon again from right to left on your radio dial. His left wing feed found Zuccarello, who'll go rink wide. Boldy carries in at the offensive zone. Cut past Haig. Matt Boldy behind the net of Schmid. Leaned on as he comes out left wing side on his backhand. Squeeze the pass Kaprizov. Rolled quickly along right side. Zuccarello threw it back in front. It never got through to Schmid. Hartman then stopped. Boldy then from the inner half of the left circle sent one just wide. Bouillon holds in again. Wild power play buzzing. 35 seconds to go on the man advantage. 8:40 left in regulation in game 3. The Wild lead 4-1. Kaprizov came around the net of Schmid. Took a pass from Zuccarello. Fired one in front. It was batted away. And the Golden Knights will whip it up ice. Carlson with Riley Smith shorthanded. William Karlsson centering. Smith to his backhand. He scores. He beat Kaprizov up ice. And not only did the Wild not rag enough time off the clock, the Golden Knights with some life, a shorty with 8:26 to go.
Yeah, and that's Minnesota got caught on that one, and you got to give them a lot of credit. They should stay with it right now, and that really narrows the gap here. It's a 4-2 game right now by Minnesota, still in the lead, but 8:26 to go, so there's plenty of time.
Nice passing play there. And again, Riley Smith with probably Kaprizov a bit gassed at the end of the power play. Able to outwork him to the back post and just squeeze it past the left skate of Gustafsson.
11:34 the time of that goal, making it 4-2.
First of the series for Riley Smith, who's in his second stint with the Golden Knights after they reacquired him in March from the New York Rangers. So the power play winding down. Jonas Brodin carries Minnesota ahead, finds Faber, bounced along. Hartman hoping to tip it. It ends up deep and an icing call on the Wild.
Just when you think you got everything going the way you want to go, something bad happens, and all of a sudden now you're scratching and clawing to hang on to that puck and keep the puck in the opposite zone. Yeah, and the fact that it's a shorthanded goal too is just not good. So Smith from Karlsson would be the official on that goal.
Third special teams goal of the 3 games played thus far between these two teams. Face off to left of Gustafsson. Eichel and Hartman on it. Power play at 4 seconds for the Wild. Howden about to jump out. Here is Hartman outletting for Nyquist. He'll cross the red line as he tries to churn it in. It deflects out of play. Timeout on the ice, 8:03 left. The Wild lead at 2. It's 4-2 Minnesota in Game 3. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
You have a plan for your business and a vision for its future. So it's important to have a banking partner that works to understand all of your goals and what it will take to help you reach them. Work with a banker who is dedicated to listening first and providing insightful, personalized advice that's right for you and your business. Work with Bremer Bank, because understanding is everything. Put us to work for you today at bremer.com.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go a walk in the park with the new Ford Explorer. Become the MVP of the work site with the unrivaled performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America. Or discover what it really means to adventure in the great outdoors with the new Bronco Sport. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Based on calendar year total sales.
Stanley Cup scoreboard.
Here's the update from St. Louis. How about this? The Blues still holding on to a 3-0 lead after 2 periods of play against the Winnipeg Jets. Yes, the Blues are down 2-0 in the series, but up big after 40 minutes on a pair of goals from Pavel Buchnevich and another one from Cam Fowler. Earlier tonight, the Panthers blanked the Lightning in Tampa Bay 2-Rev. Sergei Bobrovsky, 19 saves as he pitches the shutout. Maple Leafs squeaked past the Senators 3-2 in overtime. The Leafs lead the Sens 3-rip in that best-of-7 series. Back to Joe and Tom.
Well, Minnesota still with a 2-goal lead here right now. 8:03 to go, and the face-off is going to be right at center ice. Fans are getting engaged. The white towels are being waved in the building. And it's not so much about getting shots to the net or scoring goals. Right now it's trying to kill off the clock as much as you can and control the puck. But if you get the chance, you take it.
Eriksson and Eichel on the center ice draw. Wild from right to left. On your radio dial in the third, Kaprizov pokes the loose puck off the faceoff back to Berdine. Hacked along Kaprizov, trying to steer it in. Pietrangelo cut it off. Now Stone for Eichel, charging in right side with a shot, missiled it wide. Keeping in left point, Noah Hannafin. Boston College product, turned it around the Wild end wall. Kaprizov steers it free. Eriksson just pops it out the center. Hannafin on a reset. Now Alex Pietrangelo at the red line right side, cranks it in. Gustafsson carefully watching it. Faber pushed it back into his left wing corner. Berdine's clearing attempt, got around and back out through center.
Yeah, good play by Kaprizov. Just angled that puck all the way down the ice, and that kills off valuable seconds.
Hannafin lugs
their first AHL playoff game, and 2 of them picked up a massive point. Dalibor Dvorsky picking up the assist for Zach Dean, his first playoff goal this year, and the Providence Bruins fall to the Thunderbirds 2-1. Colton Ellis in between the pipes. Let's do our Enterprise Driver on the League, proud hometown partner of your St. Louis Blues. Games tonight, the Maple Leafs have a 3-0 series lead against the Senators. They won it in overtime 3-2. Brady Tkachuk tied it up late, and then Toronto would win it in OT. Panthers with a 2-0 series lead with a 2-0 win over the Lightning, but Barkov left late in that third period, and the Wild currently up 4-2 on the Vegas Golden Knights. Other series around the NHL, the Capitals lead the Montreal Canadiens 2-0. The Hurricanes lead the New Jersey Devils 2-0, and the LA Kings lead the Edmonton Oilers 2-0. Those 3 games will be in action tomorrow night in the NHL playoffs. So that's our Enterprise Driver on the League, proud hometown partner of your St. Louis Blues. We enter the third period. The Blues 19 seconds of penalty kill time to deal with. The Winnipeg Jets right now 0 for 2 on their power plays. The Blues 1 for 3 on their Ameren, Missouri power play report. The Blues with 2 goals from Pavel Buchnevich. Cam Fowler with 3 points. Pavel Buchnevich also with 3 points. And the Blues sitting on top 3-0. Right now, shots in favor of St. Louis 21-14 as we get set to start the third period. And a third period that has been a trouble for the Blues in these first 2 games, Joe Vitale, but we enter a third period with the Blues a little bit more of a cushion lead than what those first 2 games have been.
Yeah, I tell you what, Alex, I mean, listen, this is a Blues team that for 2 games now has had bad third periods. I think this is going to be as much mental than physical. I think they need to get through this. I think they want to initiate playing on the toes and walk away from this game. You know, with the win would be great, but even better would be the belief system that they can take it to Winnipeg in the third period.
Well, they kill off the first 15 seconds of the Winnipeg power play that was remaining from the last period. Jets dump it into the Blues zone. They send it to Kyer Connor, and that one's broken up there by Zach Bolduc, who had come out of the box. They get it back, centering pass to Scheifele, denied by Parayko. And he backhands it down the ice. It stays in, and icing will be waved off. Linesman said, Pionk, you're a better skater than that.
Yeah, from this angle up here, I think you were thinking what I was thinking. That, that chip out from Parayko looked like it was maybe going to clear the glass, but we had a bad view of it.
Blues play it to the neutral zone. Off Bennington to Foxa, dumped in by Snuggerud. It goes into the far corner, cut off by Foxa, but he didn't have anyone to center it to. Lowry's going to move it to the near wing. As Lowry braced for Snuggerud, Foxa gets it back. Shen checked into by Toropchenko. The puck cleared down, and Falk is going to go get it. Justin Falk became a Blue this summer after the Blues won a cup. They traded Joel Edmondson to Carolina for him. Neighbors will bring the puck in, shoot it wide. Been a strong defenseman for the Blues ever since. 18:33 to go here in the third period. Bouncing puck into the neutral zone. Jets will get it on the right side. Neighbors checks into Miller. You know, Miller's had a good physical game for him.
Yeah, he has. Drew a penalty there at the end of the last period, too. He's been very active in his first game in this series.
Here's Tucker. Takes the hit from Nemesnikov. Blues dump it in. Played high off the glass by the goaltender Hellebuck. Tanev will move it now to Miller on the right side. He gets it through the neutral zone as bodies fall. And then it's Tanev dumping it in behind the net. Touched away by Leddy. Played off along the wing to Stanley. Back to Appleton. Chucks it towards the net. Steered wide. Adam Morrissey left point. Skates down the left wing. Looks into traffic. Plays it to the corner. Good stick by Tucker, denying Tanev, and that puck goes to Leddy. He'll sling it out, but Morrissey's going to get it back. He was trying to find Sundqvist in the neutral zone, and now Tanev checked into by Sundqvist. Kyrou to the bench on a line change. Both teams are changing. 2.5 gone in the third. 3-0 St. Louis here in Game 3. Trying to avoid the fate that the Ottawa Senators have found themselves in against Toronto, down 3-0. Jets lead the series 2-0. We have seen some pretty good comebacks so far in the playoffs, too. Tucker saucers it out. Settled down off the stick of Nathan Walker. Dives to try to center to Toropchenko. Morrissey will play to the far wing, and Pionk's going to pay the price of that pass.
Oh, what a hit.
And then a big collision over on the far side, up along. And as Scheifele, did he fall over his teammate? Or did
No, that was Nathan Walker. He put Scheifele up on his rear end.
Here's Thomas coming in on the near side. Shields the puck with Sandberg checking him. And Scheifele goes down. No tripping call. I think he stepped it. Was it maybe on a broken stick?
Could have been. He had a rough shift right there. He definitely had a rough shift. He got hit by Walker, and he got tripped up near side. There will be no call on the ice, though.
Wilson Contreras in the building. I'm going to tell you right now, I like that dude. You listen to his quotes, team first guy. I hope things turn around for the Cardinals with him as a part of it. He's willing to do what it takes. He'd have been an okay hockey guy.
Yeah, I think so.
He'd have been an okay hockey guy.
He's sitting 3 rows behind the Winnipeg Jets bench over there. Right at the tunnel. If the Blues win this thing, they have to bring him back for Game 4, I think, Curb, on Sunday afternoon. Hopefully the Cars aren't playing. They're gonna miss him.
They won't need him. 16.5 to go. That's not nice. Hey, I like the guy. Blues in the offensive zone. Lowry has it. Terrific pressure. Stripped away by Snuggerud, but Sandberg clears. Out to center. Blues back to the puck. Snapped up off Buchnevich. He's on a hat trick watch. Scored 2 goals in the first 3 minutes and 11 seconds of this hockey game. The Blues have not scored a goal in the final 38 minutes and 47 seconds of either the first or the second game. Keep that in mind. A lot of first period scoring, not much after that for the Blues. As a matter of fact, 6 of their goals in this series have come in the first period. Cleared by Tucker to the neutral zone. Skating on is Braden Shen. Anderson Dolan, the pressure on him. Logan Stanley steps up to hit Shen. Braden just throws on the brakes. Puck cleared around, and Tyler Tucker's going after it. Anderson Dolan trying to drive. In the middle, it's there. They score. They drop it off to Gustafsson in the fourth line for the Jets. Breaks through. 15:28 to go in the third. It's 3-1.
Well, listen, this is just an unbelievable heck of an effort right there for Anderson Dolan, who comes burning down that far side right in front of the Blues bench. Tucker's got him, seals him to the corner, but then he just makes a beautiful pass to Gustafsson right through the middle of the ice. Gustafsson beats everyone up the ice. Looks like Jake Neighbors does not see him coming. Yeah, both Neighbors and Tucker go to Anderson Dolan behind the net, and they leave Gustafsson all alone right there. He goes low glove on Jordan Binnington, and now with 15:28 to go. Winnipeg Jets 2 shots away now.
Oh, yeah. Blues go to dump it in. Toropchenko's going to take a good hit from Nemesnikov. Then getting cross-checked down is Walker by Morrissey. Walker will get up, slash Morrissey, the shin pad, and the Jets are going to dump it in. Well, this next 5 minutes, Joe, an important stretch of hockey for the Blues.
Yeah, it really is. It's going to be very, very important that they mentally stay with it right there. Just a mental gap.
Pionk shoots it. And that puck shoots wide. You break the third period up with a 3-goal lead coming in. Into 4 5-minute segments. The Jets just won the first 5. 14:47 to go. Here's Falk around a broken stick. Puck gets dumped in by Snuggerud. Hellebuck caught by Thomas. Blues score!
From Thomas creates a turnover. This puck just pops loose right in front. And Buchnevich goes forehand right to the backhand. Connor Hellebuck very slow to play this puck. He has not been on the game tonight. A very sloppy game for Connor Hellebuck, and it has cost the Winnipeg Jets. No question about it right there. And right as Winnipeg was gaining momentum with that Dolan setup to Gustafsson, the very next shift, Robert Thomas comes down, puts pressure on Hellebuck behind the net, creates the turnover, and the Blues, just like that, are 3 goals up once again. That looks like a pretty lifeless bench right there for the Winnipeg Jets.
Joe, our Booth hat trick hat, our Obies hat, made it all the way down.
Oh, right. Did you follow all the way?
I did.
I was looking at some replay. I didn't know where it went. Assist for Robert Thomas. Every play right now, Curbs, just seems to be going right through number 18. A couple late straggling hats on the ice. A little bit of delay here, and yeah, Connor Hellebuck, when he goes to make this play, he looks to the left. He has no idea. There's no idea that Thomas is coming into the right. He went back. Goalies playing the puck. It's such an advantage for the St. Louis Blues. I don't care who you play. Jordan Binnington's ability to have the awareness, to play the puck to the right area, to recognize where the pressure is coming from, and move the puck. A couple late hats still coming on the ice now.
A hat trick for Pavel Buchnevich. A 3rd point in the game for Robert Thomas. Buchnevich came in with 1 career playoff goal. He now has 4. And it's a big goal to regain that 3-goal lead.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. That might be it right there. I think if you look back on this game, it was probably that. It would have been that goal right there. There's still a hat in the right corner here. The refs have got to grab.
Well, it's 4-1 St. Louis now. Big third period goal. Jake Neighbors gets in on the forecheck. Kyrou as well. Jets will clear the puck ahead to Niederreiter. Niederreiter gets inside on Falk. Centers that over to Connor. Broken up by the Blues. Broberg clears. Neighbors rink wide for Shen over the line, but they're offside as that puck curled. There's 14:07 to go here in the third period of play.
Yeah, to me, again, it's the response, it's the attitude of this Blues team, and that may be the biggest goal of the series up to this point, because you're looking at a situation where the Blues could have easily have kind of been licking their wounds, and they come storming back.
I think Steve Ott, based on that last video board look, is out a little bit of food coloring at home.
Yep, he doesn't have enough blue.
Puck to Tucker. He slaps it. Gustafsson breaks it up, brings it in. Leddy. Gustafsson loses an edge. I didn't know if Leddy was going to get called for a trip there. Gustafsson got back up with a toe pick, and Bolduc's going to come out of the corner with it. Tucker is there. Back to Bolduc. He gets checked down. The Blues clear it out, chip it ahead to Sundqvist, but it hit the curved glass, and that's going to stop the clock. Sundqvist and Stanley upon one another.
And it comes down onto the ice, and then we get some pushing and shoving, multiple whistles going on, and Sundqvist right in the middle of that. Now he'll skate out of that pile as Miller's tangled up with Bolduc at the Jets line. That's a secondary scrum going on. Linesman moving to separate everybody. And I wonder, Winnipeg is not losing their cool, but you can tell they are frustrated and certainly ticked off with what's going on the ice right now. And maybe if you don't win the hockey game, you win the period and hope that some of that carries over to Sunday afternoon. 13.5 remaining in this third period. We'll take a timeout on the ice to do the same on your radio. 4-1 St. Louis. You're listening to Play Now. Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio over the Jets. Power 97 at 680 CJOB.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Winnipeg, are you whiteout ready? Choose Hometown Pride. Choose 1919. Brewed by Little Brown Jug, Manitoba's flagship beer since 2016. Here's to building something memorable.
When the game really counts, you want to watch it on the big screen with great food and cheering fans. That's why Tavern United and Garbanzo Sports Pubs are Winnipeg's favorite destinations for playoff hockey. Want to experience a game in person? Tavern United and Garbanzo Sports Pubs are giving away tickets to the next home game. Plus, enjoy great food and beverage specials. Tavern United and Garbanzo Sports Pubs. Manitoba owned, Manitoba grown, and Manitoba proud. Can-Ed Inns thanks you for supporting local. Proudly a part of your community since 1975. Enjoy responsibly.
If it sounds too good to be true, well, you know the rest. But I get it. Some deals sound tempting, like this guy.
These prices are insane! The boss has lost his mind!
When it comes to your home's heating system, do you really want to do business with a company that resorts to gimmicks like this? You could call them and see what they're really offering, and then give Mr. Furnace a call. In fact, they encourage you to call around and get quotes first, and then call Mr. Furnace. You'll see why. Give it a try. Call 204-832-6243.
This is your front row seat to all the action for Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
After all of that, they have a penalty on the board and a power play. Penalty to the Jets, power play to the advantage of the Blues. As we welcome you back to St. Louis, 4-1 for the Blues, 13.5 remaining third period. We do it to the left of Hellebuck. Stanley is in the penalty box. Miller is in the penalty box. So there was 2 Jets and 1 Blue. Back toward the line on the far side. Rink wide. Fowler's pass knocked off a stick there. And out towards center ice of Iafallo. And he'll force the play back inside of that Blues end. Fowler onto the far side. Now it's dropped at center ice for Thomas. Thomas carves his way through that neutral ice. Couldn't penetrate the line. Neighbors knocked it back towards center ice. Now Buchnevich with 3 goals here tonight. A 4-point game to the near side. Into where the slot for Fowler. Fowler will settle it down. Tried to pass it over on the far side. Broken up by Morgan Barron, who sent it back out towards center ice. Dumped right back inside the zone. Rolled around by Winnipeg, but not out. Kept in by Thomas. Thomas into where the corner for Neighbors. Pushed against the boards by Pionk. After it is Tanev. Tanev rolled it back in behind the net. And Neighbors is shaken up, slow to get up. There's a whistle, a penalty coming up to Neil Pionk. And there's the frustrations coming out in the Winnipeg Jets now.
Yeah, 100%. And this Neil Pionk takes Neighbors into the boards. Nothing wrong with the initial check. It's likely afterwards when Neighbors was down that Pionk gave him the extra shot. And of course, the officials now are not going to waste any time in terms of dishing out roughing penalties just to make sure that things stay on the rails here. But like you mentioned, Paul, like Winnipeg just at a level where they're frustrated with this one and felt like they could have been within 2 before the end of the second period. You get 1 early in the third, but kind of all game St. Louis has kind of been pushing and shoving it in their face, and not an easy game to play if you're Winnipeg, but it was exactly, I think, the type of game that they were expecting from a desperate St. Louis team. See coaches on both sides drawing things up right now. Obviously, it's a opportunity here for St. Louis on a 5-on-3.
So Bolduc gets a roughing penalty. Miller and Stanley both for roughing as well. That puts St. Louis on the first power play. And then Pionk for roughing gives them the second power play and a 2-minute advantage for 1:09 now. It's power plays 4 and 5 for the Blues at 6:30 and 7:21 respectively. 5-on-3 for St. Louis. Winnipeg won the draw, trying to get it out. Lowry, he does. Lowry will knock it ahead. Lowry at center will backhand it down weakly inside that Blues end. Lowry is one of 2 Jets to score a shorthanded goal in the playoffs. The other, and there's only 2 of them, Brian Little. Winnipeg will send it all the way back down inside of that St. Louis end. Another nice play by Luke Schenn. Here come the Blues through the neutral ice on the far side. Thomas kicked it from a skate to a stick. Lost the puck, swept back toward the line. That stop near side. Kyrou moves in, shoots and scores. Five to 1 St. Louis. It's a power play goal, their second of the night. And it's their largest lead of the night, which is 4. And Kyrou gets on the board. And still 1 more power play to go.
Yeah, and there was a Jet and a Blue kind of get tangled up along the boards on the far side, and as soon as that happens, you end up with a 4-on-2 coming right downhill, and that's almost impossible to defend. Schenn is net front right behind Dylan Sandberg, so when this pass gets dished over to Jordan Kyrou, he gets himself right into the slot. He's got a screen. It's going to be a near impossible stop for Connor Hellebuck.
12 minutes to go in the third period, 5-1. St. Louis. Snuggerud will pass it off now for Falk to the near side. Shot in, rolled around on the far side. Neighbors now to the near side again for Falk. Will hold the line. It's power play number 5 for St. Louis. Lead pass from Morgan Barron off the stick and flounders down inside of that Blues end. Barron goes after it behind the net. Takes a hard body check there. Gets tangled up with Colton Parayko. Puck is moved out towards center ice by Sundqvist. Dumped inside the Winnipeg end. Stopped by Hellebuck. Shoveled it into where the corner on the far side for Luke Schenn. Tried to roll it around. Hit a body. Goes back in behind the Winnipeg net. Fans are all over this here tonight. It will be interesting to see what happens coming up at noon on Sunday in game number 4. Winnipeg will shoot it all the way down the ice. 29 seconds to go in the penalty to Neil Pionk.
Yeah, and of course for Winnipeg, you're looking ahead to Game 4. The onus is going to be all about the start. That's kind of what really did in Winnipeg in this one.
St. Louis across the line to the near side. Buchnevich back up top for Kyrou. Far side for Leddy. In toward the corner of the far side for Thomas. Thomas stops and starts back toward the line for Broberg. Near side for Leddy. Kicked it from a skate to a stick. Pushed it into toward the corner. 2 Jets in on him. Can't come up with a puck. Morrissey will slam Buchnevich in along the boards. It came back toward the line. It bounced over to the far side away from Broberg. And Phil Broberg will have to amble back inside his own zone. Winnipeg will make some changes. Penalties are over. Now Pionk is out of the penalty box. St. Louis 2 for 5 with a man advantage. They came across the line and Texier just slipped a check there from Stanley. Rolled into where the corner for Walker. Back in behind the net for Texier. Texier trying to roll off a check. Paul Perfetti will pin him against the boards. Staple him there, in fact. And now they're rolling along the boards into where the corner again. Walker there to help out. Walker slides along the boards to the near side corner. Back toward the line for Parayko. Parayko will supplely nudge it into where the corner, the near side for Texier. Texier back to the side of the slot for Walker. Back toward the line. And coming right down Main Street was Fowler. He couldn't get a stick on it. He rambles back toward the line to hold the line to Cam Fowler. Snapped it in toward the corner. Winnipeg rolled it around to the far side for Luke Shen. He'll look up ice. Shen a little slow to move the puck. He got taken off the puck there. Stays inside the zone. On a second shot, they score. Alexei Toropchenko. The puck found Neighbors. He shot it toward the net. Toropchenko redirected it to the top shelf, and it's 6-1 St. Louis.
Talk about a hard check, and that's exactly what Luke Shen takes. And you know it's going to be a thunderous check if it knocks Luke Shen off his skates and just not quite able to recover in time to cover up on Toropchenko, who's going to the net. Looks like the Jets are going to make a goaltending change here. Get Connor Hellebuyck out, get him ready to refocus on Game 4. Eric Comrie is going to come in.
This is the first goalie pull this season for the Winnipeg Jets. Yes, there was a game back in March where both goalies in Seattle had to play the game, but that was because of concussion protocol for Comrie, and Hellebuyck had to come in. This is the first pull this year for Connor Hellebuyck. And this is more of a mercy pull than anything else at this point. 6-1 St. Louis. And this series will be going back to Winnipeg for game number 5 on Wednesday night. 9 minutes to go in this third. And Winnipeg has not looked like the team that we saw in southern Manitoba for the first 2 games. To the near side. Across the line, Appleton stops up. Appleton put it back toward the line for Morrissey. Up top now, Pionk winds up slap shot, fired it wide. Nor has the St. Louis Blues looked like the same team in southern Manitoba, for that matter, in the first 2 games.
Yeah, they've absolutely taken it up a level, and that's no surprise. You're down 2-0 coming back to your own building.
And now we're going to get a whistle and some fighting going on at the Blues blue line. Nemestikov got in the midst of that. Morrissey's there with Broberg as well. Pionk and Neighbors. They've separated Braden Shen. One of the Jets goes down with Broberg on Morrissey. Niederreiter pulling him off. Folk comes in to give a strong arm on Niederreiter. This all happened right at the Blues blue line in front of the St. Louis bench.
And you could see why Nemestikov was upset. He was just coming in to get in the battle, and he was kind of low and was trying to get low body position, and Shen throws a cross check right into his neck/shoulder area. So that's what made Nemestikov upset, and then that's just going to bring the whole crowd in.
And then Braden Shen fed Nemestikov when the pileup was happening, a few uppercuts. And we'll get way more penalties out of this with 8:38 remaining in this third period. 6-1.
Penalties for roughing and 10-minute misconduct.
So, Braden Shen, 2 and 10. Vladislav Nemestikov, 10. They'll both be done for the night.
Yeah, and I think 10s will be a little bit more common if this keeps up, especially in the final 10 minutes here. It's been physical. It's been kind of exactly what Winnipeg predicted, but even then, like you said, St. Louis has just kind of found another level in this one.
8:38 remaining in this third period. It's all Blues. 6-1, they lead it. Back after these, you're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Cambrian Credit Union helps Manitobans plan for every financial milestone, big and small. All this while giving back to the community and Cambrian members. Keep your money right here in Manitoba. From getting your first credit card for concert tickets at the Burt, to buying a home in Southdale or Garden City with expert mortgage advice, to planning for retirement on Lake Winnipeg. Wherever you're going, Cambrian Credit Union can help you get there. Member owned and proudly local. Visit cambrian.mb.ca.
Experience the excitement at South Beach Casino and Resort as we celebrate 20 fantastic years, and we have you to thank. We appreciate your support over the last 2 decades, so come celebrate our 20th anniversary with us. We're kicking things off April 21st with a chance to win a brand new Jeep Sahara. Winner announced May 31st. 20 years, now that's worth celebrating at South Beach Casino and Resort. Details at southbeachcasino.ca.
You know what goes well with pizza from Santa Lucia Pizza. They've been the leaders in quality since 1971, and now they just keep winning award after award after award. So, sounds like they know a thing or two about making tasty pizza. How about this? When you're getting ready on game day, choose one of Santa Lucia Pizza's many specials or combos and find out why time and time again it's listed as Manitoba's favorite pizza.
Santa Lucia Pizza.
It's all about the sauce. Bet on Manitoba. Enjoy responsibly. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on 680 CJOB.
Winnipeg on the power play for the 4th time tonight as we welcome you back. Jets on the Prairie Battery power play. Your one-stop battery source is Winnipeg-born and Canadian-owned. PrairieBattery.ca. 6-1 for St. Louis. 8:20 remaining in this third period. And Winnipeg with their second power play of this period. And Scheifele trying to move it to the near side for Kyle Connor off a stick. He has to arc back inside his own zone and start again. Scheifele through that neutral ice to the near side. He'll pass it off for Iafallo. Down along the boards, he'll carry it in toward the corner. Under 8 minutes remaining in this third period. Winnipeg gave it up, and it's sent all the way down the ice by Radek Faksa.
A quick change by that unit, just really not able to get much. They got the zone entry, but a quick turnover, and St. Louis sends the puck down the ice.
Appleton out towards center ice. He dumped it in, took a hard body check on the far side. Winnipeg goes after it in Niederreiter. Niederreiter shoots it around to the far side for Appleton. He protects the puck, popped it back toward the line. Near side slap shot, Miller. He broke his stick in half. Goes in toward the corner, trying to protect it there to the near side is Niederreiter. He ambles by that broken stick. Got it to the far side, back toward the line. Miller again, slap shot blocked by Walker. Came back to Miller again. Near side, Pionk shooting, scores! Neil Pionk with a one-time slap shot from the point. Beat Jordan Binnington under the bar. It's a power play goal for Winnipeg. And it's 6-2 St. Louis with 7:10 remaining in this third period.
And if anything there for Winnipeg, it's just kind of gets your power play rolling a little bit. There wasn't a whole lot of momentum going for Winnipeg on the power play. They had some chances that just, but you know, players on those power play units that they need to see some pucks go in. So nice for that unit to be able to get one, but absolute shot mentality, right? You saw Colin Miller blasting away, broke a stick, came back, blasted again, that got blocked, and then Neil Pionk, his first opportunity, he let it fly, but great puck protection earlier in the shift by Nito Niederreiter to allow Winnipeg to keep possession.
Pionk's first from Miller at 12:50 unofficially. Time of the goal for JS Furniture. Visit us online at furnitureandmore.ca. Gonna face off in the neutral ice area, an offside call against the Jets. Also, folks, stay tuned for the game's 3 stars tonight. For Shine Dental, don't miss out on life's appetizing offerings because of ill-fitting dentures. Get set right with shinedental.ca. 7:04 remaining third period, 6-2 St. Louis. And they've had their breakout third period after being stymied in the first 2 games in the third. Long slap shot by Luke Schenn, stopped by Binnington, and then a crowd gathers again in front of the St. Louis goal. Nothing will become of that.
Mason Appleton picking up a secondary assist as well on the Neil Pionk power play goal. And now this is the tough minute. You're just trying to find some momentum to carry you in. What kind of matchups can you find? What kind of good habits can you instill? Try to get yourself something out of this game, because that's the important part going into game 4. It's also going to be, the kind of the 4th of 4 kind of odd start times in this series. It's kind of one of those wake up and get right at it. Sometimes it's difficult to play a postseason game at noon, but Winnipeg's got to find a way to do it and start strongly. So the work almost begins now.
Face off to the left of Binnington. So Comrie's in net, by the way. He came in a few minutes ago, and this is his first playoff action of his career. Back in behind the net. Leddy up along the boards, and the puck dribbles out towards center ice. Winnipeg will discard it and send it right back inside that Blues end. Binnington will roll it around to the near side. Pulled off the wall there by Walker. Send it toward the middle of the ice. Toropchenko and across the line. He'll backhand it back in behind the net. Sharking after it. Luke Schenn rolled it around. Anderson Dolan will just punch it back out towards center ice. 6:20 remaining third period. 6-2 for St. Louis. Niederreiter steals the puck at center ice. Crossed over the line. Twisted off that puck. Got rattled there on the near side by Buchnevich. Out towards center ice. Long slap in again by Pionk. Stopped by Binnington. Sit back toward the line. Winnipeg can't hold it. Dumped out towards center ice on the stick of Buchnevich with 3 goals tonight. He'll backhand it softly inside the Winnipeg end. Sandberg into where the middle now for Lowry. Lowry for Niederreiter. Cross ice pass to jump up there is Neil Pionk. Swings away and 180s away from the check and will dump it in. Lowry goes back after it. It squirts off the back wall right to the side of the net. We get a stoppage. Cole Perfetti pushing and shoving. Lowry is coming in to help out, as there was a liberty taken with a bigger man on Cole Perfetti. And was that Buchnevich? Yes, it was. He's been a hard player to play against tonight for the Winnipeg Jets in a couple of categories. He's been tenacious going toward the net, defending his own, and he also has 3 goals in the night. By the way, shots on goal, 25-18 for St. Louis. Shots on goal totals are for Dr. J's Men's Sexual Health Clinic. Need to perform better in the bedroom? See the top-rated doctor on Google and rate MD. Visit Dr. J at WinnipegClinic.com. Back after these, 5:40 remaining in the third. It's all Blues. They lead at 6-2. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets playoff hockey on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
When games are played, when there's a trade, sports news has been made. You'll hear all about it. 25 after the hour on 680 CJOB.
Hey Jets fans, get ready for the Winnipeg Whiteout with Jets gear and TrueNorthShop.com. Choose from a huge variety of official Winnipeg Jets Whiteout apparel, headwear, novelties, and more. Need a new white hat, t-shirt, pants, or a jersey? We've got you covered.
Moving in, shooting, score!
Shop online at TrueNorthShop.com or by visiting one of our Jets gear store locations.
When you bet with Play Now Sports, goals become... Every game will feel like the big game. Bet local with Play Now Sports, the official betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Boston Pizza is Canada's go-to place for playoffs. So this year, we're doing more than just hoping a Canadian team wins it all. We're manifesting it. We're planning the parade. We even got a bus. And we've got the sports bar dialed in, with ice-cold draft beer and an elite playoff menu. Like the guy in the movie said, kind of.
If we plan it, we will win.
So when it's game day, post up early at BP and cheer for the Holy Grail to come home.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
5:40 remaining in this third period. 6-2 St. Louis. We do it to the right of Binnington. Scheifele will take the draw. Thomas will win it. Moved up along the boards and floated out towards center ice. Discarded there by Miller up along the boards, but it finds the stick of Iafallo. He trucks inside the zone, turning that puck toward the net. He tried to one-hand it there, barging into where the middle of the ice. Got in a little too tight. Came back toward the line. Held by Morrissey, near side, wrist shot. That went wide on the short side. Grabbed again by Connor. Arced off the boards, didn't shoot the puck. Twisting and turning back toward the line. Miller, slap shot, and he fanned on that off the heel of the stick. Bounced around to the near side. Parayko comes back deeper inside his own zone. Moved it up along the boards. Intercepted now by Iafallo. Far side for Connor. Swing and a miss. He grabbed it again. Back toward the line for Morrissey. Moving in, shooting. And he ripped it wide with a wrist shot over to the far side. Miller can't hold the line. He gave it away. Snuggerud dances out towards center ice. And he will sit it down inside the Winnipeg end.
A good shift from Winnipeg, forcing a turnover high in the zone, does Alex Iafallo, and then that usually allows Winnipeg to go to work and create a couple of looks that they do there.
Miller moved it ahead for David Gustafsson. He scored a goal tonight. Redirected down inside that Blues end. Rolled around to the far side. Stopped there again by Broberg. Rolled around to the near side for his D partner in Falk. His shot will go off a body and out towards center ice. Spills back inside the Winnipeg end. Luke Schenn will send it out towards center ice. Winnipeg trying to steal the puck. Blues back inside their own zone to recover. Broberg will spin away from the check. Move it out towards center ice. Make a nice move. Anderson Dolan finished his check on him. Not before it's deposited down inside the Winnipeg end. Luke Schenn to the near side. Now for Niederreiter. Stops at center ice and dumps it back inside the Blues end. Binnington will stop that. Roll it back in behind his own net for Leddy. Indirect and out towards center ice for Neighbors to the near side for Faxa moving in. Back in front of the net for Torapchenko going towards the goal. And he was taken off stride. Stanley's grabbed Faxa. Whistle's going to go. Stanley's grabbed Faxa. He gave him a punch with the right hand. Stanley will be gone for the rest of the night. Faxa's had his helmet removed. 3:48 remaining in the third period. 6-2. For St. Louis.
Yeah, I think Faxa, he'll be done as well.
Winnipeg 64. 4-minute double-minor roughing and a 10-minute misconduct.
Yep.
And I thought they might send Faxa as well, but it's going to be just Stanley. And that's frustration too. Stanley earlier in the shift was, I think, upset because when he went back to retrieve a puck, Bolduc finished his check. That's fine. It's the leap into Stanley against the boards that I don't think Stanley loved. So he was already kind of in a foul mood on the shift, and then he and Faxa kind of get tied up after Faxa's play to the net as Stanley finishes his check.
Well, show us how you celebrate the Winnipeg Jets whiteout, presented by Princess Auto, for a chance to win tickets to a 2025 playoff game. Show the Jets how you do the whiteout with decorations, costume, or any other way you cheer on the Jets at winnipegjets.com/whiteoutmania for a chance to win tickets or to be featured in team content.
Just waiting for Winnipeg to send a player across to serve for Logan Stanley. It'll be Cole Perfetti.
So another power play for the Blues. It's their 6th. They're 2 for 5 tonight. Fowler, far side, slap shot, Parayko, they score. Colton Parayko with a one-timer off the face-off win. 7-2 St. Louis.
And this is interesting. Adam Lowry is quite upset. Right after that goal, he went right over to Kyle Raymond and started to chat. Then he started looking right toward the Blues bench. And I'm wondering if They're upset because it was the top power play unit for St. Louis that hopped over the boards in a 6-2 game late. And those are the little things that, you know, Winnipeg can kind of look at heading into game 4.
Well, Winnipeg is still shorthanded. It's the 7th power play now of the night for St. Louis. Radek Faksa weaving his way through the neutral ice. 5-goal lead. Parayko from Fowler. Big night for Cam Fowler. And Jake Neighbors as well. Winnipeg. Fowler will go after the puck as Winnipeg will dump it in. Iafallo will send it around back in behind the net. Walker trying to dig it off the boards and Faksa on the far side. 3 minutes remaining in this third period. Winnipeg retreats and wants a line change. 7-2 St. Louis. St. Louis will set it up in front of their own net. And now hopping toward his own line is Falk. To center ice, he'll shoot it in. Rolls around to the far side. Pulled off the wall there by Tanev. Tanev back in behind his own net, and he ran in to one of the St. Louis Blues along the back wall. That is Bolduc. Penalty coming up against St. Louis. And now Luke Schenn has pushed one of the Blues to the back wall. Linesmen move in to break that up. And that is Jimmy Snuggerud, the youngster, the 20-year-old out of the University of Minnesota. And then Texier said something to Luke Schenn. Schenn gave him a little cross-check.
Yeah, Winnipeg's just flat out angry.
Minor for cross-checking.
Oh, so the penalty's going to Luke Schenn for cross-checking. So this will be power play number 8. And a 49-second 5-on-3. It's the second 5-on-3 of this third period. There was one that was 1 minute and 9 seconds long that St. Louis did score on one of the power plays on.
And it will not be the top unit this time from St. Louis, but yeah, they gave Luke Schenn kind of that first cross-check, but the second one on Snuggerud is the one they called.
Back toward the line, up top, Fowler again. Fowler right side point on a face-off win. Now for Parayko for Fowler up top. Fowler to the near side, into where the corner, back toward the line. Far side, Parayko slap shot. That whistles wide and maybe grazed off a Jet. Bounced into where the corner again. Back toward the line here, Fowler knocked off his stick. Lowry will pick that up. Lowry to foot race with Parayko. Lowry moving in. He's trying to squeeze off his shot on a forehand. Fanned on it, turned and got a backhand toward the net. That was stopped. Back the other way come the Blues. Couple of nice moves to the near side. Faksa back in front. Texier. And he had a jam job. Got in tight on Comrie. And Comrie made the save. Back toward the line. Falk shoots. Stopped by Comrie. It's underneath him. And he'll hang on for a whistle. 1:49 remaining in this third period. So game number 4 at noon on Sunday from right here in St. Louis. Game 5 Wednesday night in Winnipeg, and I believe the time to be determined still.
Yeah, time still to be determined on that one, and I would imagine that would come pretty quickly in the next day or so from the National Hockey League, usually shortly after the game is required, and that's when the time tends to come out, but obviously a lot of things to think about for Winnipeg here.
Blues win the draw, back toward the line. Broberg shoots, stopped by Comrie, rebound, flush back out towards center ice. Now Perfetti is out of the penalty box after serving the one minor, or the minor, to Logan Stanley. Stanley's also had a misconduct, so he's done for the night. And Winnipeg is back to a 5-on-4 situation against. It's power play number 8 for St. Louis. To the near side, Sundqvist tried to throw it into where the slot. Texier had that go the wrong way on him. Grabbed by Appleton and ripped all the way down the ice. 1:10 to go in the third period. 7-2 for St. Louis.
Well, the thing about the Stanley Cup playoffs is you know adversity is going to come. And for the Winnipeg Jets, they've had some injury adversity already. Now it's how do you respond after a game like this one?
Tanev across the line, backs his way in. Under a minute to go. Fans will get on their feet. Snatched off the sideboards by Walker, sent out towards center ice. Pionk with it. Sends it right back in, right on top of Binnington. Knocked into where the corner. 35 seconds to go. Tucker onto the far side for Leddy. For Walker. Into where the slot. Cutting to where the net. Trying to get a shot away. He was taken off stride. And that was Toromchenko. Winnipeg back out towards center ice. 20 seconds to go. Anderson Dolan will knock it inside the Blues' end. He stays on the puck. Bumps with his man in Faxa. Still after. Takes a cross check to the near side here from Walker. Bounced into where the corner, around the boards, and flushed out towards center ice. That'll do it here tonight.
What if I open my soul? Here I stand by myself on my own. What if I lose all control and take a step out into the unknown? Oh, oh, oh. What do I know? Surprise. I'd rather want you to just let me be. Oh, oh, oh. What do I know? What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know what's going on now. Another breakdown, you and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a show.
You are good at work. I felt myself in those moments of defaulting to the more defensive side of the game. And then I played my right winger, six Stanley Cups with Glenn Anderson. He was the kind of guy that was trying to, really drive hard offensively and take the game and try to score the win. And we're on the same line. Maybe that's the difference of us and our mentality perfectly. But everybody's